uh, several of the other NPCs in my group of like the Fire Fist.
The Flame
Um,
Fist.
yeah, the Flame Fist. Right. Yeah. Sorry. Just need to think for a second. um, and yeah, I'm like the only one left of that little group that was sent out, and we're just about to leave with like Tieto, Rana, and a bunch of other people.
Hmm. Several other folks. Yeah. Okay. I mean, that was more of a DM question, but cool.
What's that?
Um. So hold on. I need to get all my marbles in the basket. On my basket. Okay. Basket and then marble. All my stick together.
I am very happy that we leveled up last time as well because we got that multi-tack.
Oh yeah, level 5 is definitely a big level for wizards and fighters alike. However,
You got multi attack.
Blackjack did not get it.
Yeah. I multi class.
Mm-hmm. You held off.
Ah, don't worry. I'm just gonna be dead for a bit. I'm just gonna get hit on like constantly. So that's cool. Um, are you playing music or should I bump up my own music?
I will play some music. We'll just have. I'm just gonna play some lobby music while I kind of spin y'all yarn of kind of what's been going on from the beginning for our new players' sake, and kind of a refresher for y'all since nobody here in our current group has been with us
But
since the very beginning.
fella, you're cutting out quite a bit.
Am I really?
Yes.
Is it like better now or
Talk to me.
test? Can you hear what I'm saying?
A little bit better.
Hmm. It says my
Yeah.
internet connection's good. I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe it's since I started recording.
Hmm.
I don't know.
If his mic doesn't work, then I will be proud to take over the session as the DM.
Then that means I get to
Uh,
play, right?
Yeah, dude.
Excellent.
First things first. Well,
ev-
shit.
everyone levels up to max.
We're starting at 20, and it's going to be a battle royale event, right?
We're starting at 20 and we're going backwards to 1.
Oh, I like that. Um, okay, so at the beginning of the campaign, um, the original band of explorers were asked by Sindra Sylvain. They all were kind of like invited or requested to meet up with her in Boulder's Gate to kind of help her out with something. She is a retired adventurer. She's traveled the world of Faerun, collecting magical artifacts, building a network of popularity and fame, as well as her personal wealth. However, upon reaching her house, you're there to help her out because she has helped out your family or the character's family in some form or fashion, perhaps personally, perhaps directly or indirectly. Upon getting to her house, the original party found out that she was dying, and not in the typical sense. In her years of adventuring, she had died a number of times and been brought back to life through, divine intervention or magical means. But it seems that her body is slowly wasting away. She seems like this pale, frail skeleton of a person. She says there's this death curse that's gone across the whole world. Anyone that had died is slowly wasting away day by day, and new people can't be resurrected by any sort of means. And all the high wizards, the archmages and the bishops and priests of the land aren't quite sure what's going on. They've prayed to their gods and consulted the stars, but they don't seem to understand exactly what's going on. Syndra spent a vast amount of her resources to kind of talk to a bunch of secret organizations to kind of figure out where this death course is originated, and her sources have told her that it's somewhere deep in the jungles of Choltz. They're not quite sure where. And so she sent the band of adventurers to go find this death curse and report back to her, any information they could possibly find. Upon asking her, we're just some ragtag group of people, we haven't done any major exploring. Can't you send somebody else instead? Sindra replied to the group saying, I already have. I haven't heard back from them. You're my last line of defense against my mortality. Upon reaching Choltz, she teleported the group there. They found this tropical city, on the coast called Port Nyanzaro, filled with dinosaurs and hustle and bustle of trade. The city is ruled by 7 merchant princes that have a no-nonsense tolerance for stealing. Stealing is punishable by death, and death is performed by running through Executioner's Run, this long pit filled with hungry jaguars and dinosaurs. If you can make it to the other side, you win your freedom back. There's also local dinosaur races, which is probably the biggest attraction for the city. People come from all around the world to witness the dinosaur races and do some trading on the side, some betting and gambling. The party recruited the help of one Azaka Stormfang, a character who was kind of aloof, shy and reserved, didn't really talk much, and was kind of the gruff, no-nonsense type. They escorted her to this tower called Flaming. I think it's called Flaming Tongue or something like that.
Yeah.
And something like that. It was this crumbling tower filled with large pterodactyl people, humongous humanoid monsters that have pterodactyl wings and beaks. And she beseeched the party to retrieve this item for her, something that was from her childhood that reminded her of her father. Upon getting that item, she agreed to join the party, and help save the world. She didn't have anything else really going on, and she started out as a guide, and she fully intended to, die as a guide, whether out in the jungles of Choltz on a mission or, in her old age, back in Port Nyanzaro. A bunch of bumbling mishap adventures happened after that. I'm not quite sure because I'm getting my in real life game mixed up with the Roll20 game. The last particular adventure, I will let Blackjack explain regarding that last little mini arc.
You mean the one where we went into the entire thing from the Tree of Death all the way through?
In a summarized form, yeah.
Alright, so our party met up with these other Flaming Fist people, other Flaming Fist group who had been sent into the jungles of Cholt to retrieve someone, I believe, right?
Yes.
And we were like, okay, that sounds pretty cool. We will help you in that endeavor. And along the way, we found a burning village that had been desecrated of life. We had found a large tree with the corpses of people who had been going missing, hanging from the tree. Their corpses desecrated. And we fought this kind of spiritual tree beast who was just this shadowy black thing of essence who possessed trees and kicked our asses 3 times in a row.
Basically.
I think in a heroic battle, 1-on-1, Blackjack fought and killed the beast. No one else helped him. So Yeah, he's the most capable and wonderful fighter of the group.
Not to mention
Right.
the most like the best good looking, you know.
Yeah, the most good looking Dragonborn you'll ever meet in your entire life.
Right.
Yeah. So that's basically a recap up to this point. Also, everyone in the group that we found died, including one of Blackjack's old acquaintances, a man named Luskar, which really tore him up on the inside.
I am the only surviving member. Whoopee.
Yes. Yay, Soul Survivor Club.
The jungle is a harsh place. To give a little bit more backstory, the Flaming Fist is a mercenary group. Boulder's Gate has claim over all the entire peninsula of Cholt. Port Nianzaro's military force is not strong enough to repel it. And so the Flaming Fist kind of imposes this tax upon adventurers that go out into the jungles of Cholt. If you don't have like a writ of an exploration, this signed document that you pay for, if you encounter Flaming Fists, they will, take your stuff, demand that you purchase a writ, a charter of exploration, and send you on your way. So they're kind of like the external ruling force from Boulder's Gate. They're not natives in any sort or fashion.
They're big dummies who hurt people. That's all you need to know.
And Blackjack and Garen were both members of the Flaming Fist at one point, and perhaps they still are. It's up to them to divulge what their characters do and say and feel. I suppose this is a good instance for Garen and Blackjack to kind of describe what their characters look like, or we can do that when we first meet up with our new player.
We'll do that when we first meet him, because then there'll be introductions all around.
All right. So I am going to kind of give an explanation on what the party map looks like. Pay no mind to this. Okay, here is the player's map of Cholt, and I'll kind of just quickly go through it and just kind of describe fun things. I haven't updated some of the metadata as far as the current party and objectives and things like that. I always forget to do that. But I'll mostly be talking about the map, which is taking forever to load for me. Do you have any questions so far, Elor? Or Ebor, rather?
No, not at the moment. I'm just kind of looking through information on Schultz, seeing if there's any kind of like a wizard organization.
There is one merchant prince who is in charge of spell scrolls and potions. He kind of has a monopoly in that particular sector of the market. And he's actually good friends with Sindra Sylvain. So maybe you have some sort of connection with him. I know the group is on their way to Cure Sabal. You can see the player party token on the eastern coast of Cholt. Perhaps your characters in Cure Sabal are wandering through the jungles alone by himself. That's probably not the smartest thing for a lone wizard.
You'd be cutting out, my friend.
I'm cutting out? Ugh, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to do.
Just bringing it to your attention.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Are the hexes that are just blank, does that mean the party hasn't been there?
Yes, that is absolutely correct. You have not explored that area, and no one really has explored that area. So Sindra Sylvain has given the party a map, and this is the most comprehensive map of Cholt, and she said to guard it with your lives. It cost her an arm and a leg, almost literally, and most of her fortune. She's like bribed and paid in blood for that information, and that's just the basic information that you have. It doesn't even contain the interior of Choltz. A lot of people would do, some nasty things to get a hold of that map, and I believe Roman has it in his possession right now.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
y'all have just been kind of slowly filling it out as you moved along.
All right, I'm not sure where it would be on this map. There's something called the Heart of Ubtao.
Okay, the Heart of Ubtao, you're not quite sure where it is. I wouldn't read too much into Cholt's lineage and locations, just because that's just going to be spoilers for you for this particular campaign. There is some Sorry, go ahead.
Well, this is what I was thinking. Okay, I hope this isn't actually a spoiler for the campaign. Is Zastam involved in this campaign?
I will message you in Discord.
Maybe, okay.
They absolutely are.
Maybe yes, maybe no.
Well, anyways, because apparently there's some kind of
Like
problem thinking that my guy could be
I typed
a
in
red wizard of
NOO.
Thay.
Okay.
Sorry, I missed that. Ebum. Or Ebor.
I'll write something out here.
Cool. And just because it is in the campaign book doesn't mean it's in my version of the campaign. So I can always change things up. But you can see towards the north is the Bay of Cholt and Port Dianzaru. The party originally went down the river Tiriki down to Firefinger. That's where they helped out Azaka Stormfang, kind of like this surly female guide, who the party later found out is actually a lycanthrope. She can transform into a were-tiger. During one of the adventures that I just remembered, she actually lost one of her legs, and she has like crutches now. When she changes into her tiger form, like she's missing one of her hind legs.
She got fucked up.
Yeah, she got a little beat up there. And then the parties continue down to Mesro, and then they continue down to Ataz Muaha, and then down to Wreck of the Narwhal. I can kind of draw it. Kind of draw a path of what's all going on here as far as.
As what's what?
I wish there was a eraser, because I totally goofed.
Yeah, that's a little.
Oh well.
And just removed all of the other writing.
Yep, I figured as much. That's fine. I needed to update it anyway.
Okay.
Okay, the party's about right there.
So we skip these two squares on the pentagons on the side. Where are those pentagons? Hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4 hexagons.
The hexagons, you kind of like cut a path through those hexagons there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you can double back and check out if there's anything there if you certainly
No, because
That sounds like a really good idea.
I'm on 10 HP, good sir, with 0 short rests, like hit dice.
I think y'all are a little further, so I'm actually going to push y'all right here, and then I will clear some of those squares.
Need to get the hell out of this goddamn forest. I am not doing too hot.
You can just put us at our destination, that's fine. I'd be cool with that.
Nah. That's too easy. That's too easy. how do I delete these squares?
Do we have any healing potions? I don't think I do.
Probably not.
I do not. I have 10 gold pieces. I could try and buy one.
Yeah, flag down a merchant. Hey, do you have any healing potions? We're dying really quickly.
Let's check
Oh,
the bag of holding. So there is a big bag of holding that Roman has access to. You should see that in your journal.
He does have potions of healing. He's pouring a bunch of them.
I see a single potion of healing and 2 superior healing potions.
All right.
Why do you need a potion of healing? We're in a good place right now. We're safe.
Well, you never know.
You're in the jungles of Chult. There's no such thing as safe.
Yeah, exactly. You never know. I'm on 10 HP and we could get attacked by more raptors.
Okay.
All right. What are your thoughts, Ibor?
Well, I wrote something in Discord. You can have a look at that.
Okay, I'm reading that now.
Reading in process.
Just an origin idea.
Yeah, for sure. And you don't have to reveal anything too much. You know, maybe your character is batshit crazy. But on the surface, he is, very calm and collected. Your character is very secretive and doesn't want to give away too much, or is like an open book.
Or you could be like Roman and just spill your entire backstory whenever anybody even remotely asks.
Or you could do that, yes. That falls under the open book category. And we can flush out more between now and next week. But for now, I would say just kind of keep it a little bit more cryptic, because that adds to the drama.
Yeah, that sort of information to share.
Perfect.
I mean, my guy isn't that complicated. It's just very simple, dude.
Yeah, and some people don't have to be complicated, and there's nothing wrong with that, Sometimes, you're the chosen child prophesied from 10,000 years ago, and sometimes you're the son of a potato farmer, and you just don't want to farm potatoes.
Maybe sometimes you're both.
And sometimes you're both.
You're the legendary 10,000-year-old potato farmer.
You're
prophesized to be a potato farmer.
You're breaking a 10,000-year-old prophecy.
And that's... Oh my god, you just gave me an idea for a new character. Fuck! Stop!
The legendary potato farmer?
Stop!
He was so good at potato farming that there were legends passed down from generations.
No, there was a 10,000-year thing where, like, if anybody in your lineage is not a potato farmer, this horrible curse is going to be cast on the land, and then you are the, last of the generation who didn't want to be a potato farmer. Now you have to go out and fix the curse.
All right. So the party had just gotten away from almost certain death. They just defeated this ancient tree spirit, this jungle spirit that feasted on the blood of anyone that irked it, and it had the power to animate dead corpses and puppet them around as if they were rag dolls, and could speak through them, kind of luring people out into an opportunity to get feasted upon. They drove it away. Daylight broke, the rainstorm and the monsoon subsided, and it is now, I would say, 9 o'clock of the next day.
So we took a long rest?
I don't believe so. I think you kind of fought it through the night.
We kind of left off while we were walking out, so no, we did not take a rest.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Right, so we're just...
but before we did, I wanted to bury Luskar.
Luskar? Okay.
Yeah. I do have that shovel.
Go ahead. Do you want to look for a good place to bury him, or you just want to get it over with?
I want to look for a good place to bury him, like I would when I did with the other two, Bax and the other chick. What was her name?
Lux?
Billy, I believe.
Billy, yes, Billy. I look for like a stone or something, like mark it with one of my weapons.
I'm just kind of showing off who these characters were, what they kind of looked like in life, to our new character, And
Do I have Karen's? Okay. So,
go ahead and give me a survival check
Can I assist with this?
or perception. Sure. You can assist, so you can roll with advantage.
so I'm rolling for perception with advantage, right?
Perception or survival, I will let you choose.
Okay, so
Please.
survival,
I-
perception, and
I-
survival are both the same. So, sure,
I
let's go
assure
with
you-
perception.
Your scores are better than mine.
15. All right. So you kind of follow the stream that kind of leads away from that lake that you were once at, and you follow it for a little bit, looking for like a nice calm pond to like perhaps bury him next to. And usually there's a lot of like greenery that grows on the edges of ponds. And you travel down, you actually find like a nice idyllic waterfall. It kind of drops about 10-15 feet into this little like sparkling pond. There's mist everywhere, and there's like a rainbow continuously seen from the spray. And you see the sunlight, pokes down through the canopy. And as you get there, you actually spy some like brachiosaurs just kind of drinking at the water, just dipping their heads in, simple vegetarian dinosaurs. It seems like a good place.
All right, I will bury him there.
Alright.
And I will mark somewhere to mark the grave. I will write the following: Luskar, a good leader, didn't need to die out here.
Yep. I put down my Duralian skull in front of where the grave is of Luskar.
Okay. Tiara is an ambassador that these flaming fists were charged to go find, and this is what he looks like. He's kind of like a son of a nobleman, and he's an ambassador between Baldur's Gate and Schultz. And he was kidnapped by bandits, and he kind of walks forward to the grave, and he says, I thank him for finding me and putting his mission before his own life, and if anything, I will do my utmost best to make sure that his legacy is remembered. If there's anything I can do in my power to ease any next of kin, of their burden, then I will take that upon myself. And he just kind of like nods his head and just kind of stands there in solace and soaking in the moment.
I knew Luskar, right?
Yeah, you did.
Mm-hmm.
So did he have any next of kin? Did he ever tell me about family?
He was actually pretty quiet when it talked about next of kin. It seemed like he had an estranged son. Like he had a wife at some point, but not very long, and it didn't work out. And the wife took the son away from him, and he didn't really have any purpose anymore. So that's why he joined the Flaming Fists, and he would send money home to them every now and then. Probably like he still felt guilty about not making the relationship work.
So do I know their names?
You know that his son's name is his wife's name is Cleo, and his son's name is Patrick.
Does he have a last name?
Patrick Luskarson.
Patrick Luskar.
Luskarson. And then Luskar's last name is Garrickson.
Luskar Luskarsson.
No, Luskar Garrickson.
Okay. I turn to the ambassador and I go, Cleo and Patrick Luskarson. That's the name of his next to kin. If you wanna do anything when you get out of here.
Tiro kind of nods and he says, I'll remember those names. I'll make sure that they are taken care of.
Do.
He says, the bounty, the reward on my head will be the first thing that goes towards their family needs. And I'll make sure that you're compensated as well as soon as I get back to some semblance of a civilization.
With all due respect, I do not need compensation.
All right. Well, if you change your mind,
I will.
We should probably get going then. And you see Azaka. She's on her crutches and she nods and continues on. She's gonna probably spend most of her traveling time in her cat form, and I will show you kind of what she looks like if I can.
Did you not give Azaka like a wooden peg leg, like a pirate?
Was it attached to her leg?
Yeah, right?
Okay.
Wasn't that the thing
I forgot about that. Okay, I like it. Yeah, because I think I remember someone getting like a very good roll, and they made like this fantastic.
Oh, fuck, my headphones, they came unplugged.
Okay,
Trash.
So this is Azaka Stormfang. When she transforms into a tiger, the peg leg transforms with her, and so she'll just be like running with 3 legs. Because I feel like a peg leg would hinder a tiger. She says it's not too much further from Sabal. We should get going. Do we need to rest up? Does anyone require healing at all?
So she said something about healing, right? Garen just kind of like raises his hand. He's panting. He's not doing too good. He's got 10 health.
She says, I guess we could, over the course of kind of like remembering the life and legacy of Leskar, y'all could have taken a short rest if you would like to roll hit die. Do you have any hit die left?
No, I'm at 0.
Okay. Let's see what Roman has. Roman might be able to help you out. So Roman goes up to you and with his last first level spell slot is going to cast Cure Wounds. Yep, I hear you.
Alright, well, I was muted, so my quips and tricks were entirely ignored.
Alright. How many do I get?
Let's see here. You actually get full health because of his channel divinity. He's the Grave Domain. So you actually get 13 HP back.
13?
Yep.
Okay.
You all do? Or just...
Just Garen does.
Well, I'm at 8 hit points.
Okay.
He already used his last hit point.
Roman is going to reach into the bag of holding and give you a superior health potion and a regular health potion. He says, it's up to you what you think you need. I'm pretty much tapped. We can rest here, or this seems like a good
That
place.
is not...
You know, yeah, that'd be kind of salt in the wounds, resting right over my best friend's grave.
All right, then. I guess we should push on towards Sabal. It's probably a day's journey to get there.
I mean, sure. Let's go.
Are you going to take the potion of healing or the superior potion?
I get one regular and one, like, advanced one?
Superior.
Yeah, the superior is 10d4 plus 20.
Whoa.
Yeah, that would like heal you up to like max and over. I think you should just take the healing potion.
Pot of heals is 2d4 plus 2?
Yep.
Okay. Well, if it's a day travel, I'm gonna pop that shit open. I'm gonna roll 2d4 plus 2. Watch as I get 10 hit points, you guys. Watch. Yeah! Nope.
6. You almost got it. 4 off.
That's close enough. 14 hit points. Yeah. Nice.
we will continue forward, I imagine, then.
Yes,
Okay.
I will lead the way.
Lead the way with your meager hit points. I like it.
I will stand by Tierra and Rana. Just make sure nothing hits them from behind or anything.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception roll, Blackjack.
I'm really good at perception rolls. Yes, 8.
8. You don't see anything. You're just kind of like moving south towards Kir Sabal, kind of like.
Can I roll a perception?
Sure.
Nope.
You don't seem to see anything more than Blackjack does. You know, perhaps the thoughts of what had just transpired the day before, you know, are taking up the forefront of your consciousness. You're just lost in thought.
Mm-hmm.
8.
Okay, let's see here. I feel like I had more songs, but I didn't sort them into folders. So let's just play.
Dashing through the jungle.
All right. So as you're continuing south, let me see. You come across a large. You just like break through the underbrush, hacking away with a machete or like a sword or some sort. You actually come into a clearing, and it's just filled with hundreds of, you know, macaws and parrots of all colors, birds of paradise, you know, like fantastic feather arrangements and plumage. What do y'all do?
I simply admire them, but outside of character. I am cautious because I've seen this before, and that led to dire macaws, so...
So wait, there's just a bunch of birds in this clearing?
Yep, they're like in the trees around you and kind of like all around, looking up. You know, it's just if you look up and spin around, it's just a swirl of color.
Are any of them speaking any common or anything like that? Like, are they speaking an actual human language?
Nope.
Or just like squawking?
It's just a mad cacophonous, you know, of just squawks and, you know, chirps.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm just gonna admire these birds before.
Okay.
I'm just gonna continue walking.
You see a Azaka stop and like picks up a couple of the feathers, you know, that seem to be like vibrant colors, and she kind of just pockets them, and she actually takes one and kind of starts braiding it into her hair, into one of the braids that she has.
They're probably diseased. That's not a good idea.
I'm gonna ask her something. I say, are those feathers are they important, or they're just nice to have?
She says, "They're pretty, no?"
Yeah, I can agree to that.
And she offers.
Never.
Offers your character a few of them. She's like, "Here, you can adorn your armor with it if you like."
Oh, thank you. I accept. And he takes the feathers.
Nice. All right.
How many feathers did I get off this girl?
Oh, you got 5 very nice feathers, you know, of like the scarlet and, you know, this deep, vibrant purple. And you got like this blue that kind of transitions into a green, you know, and like some fiery, like orange yellow.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm going to write that down in my notebook.
Nice.
5 feathers.
All right. As you continue on, you're getting a little bit closer to Kir Sabal. It's probably like, you know, mid-afternoon. And you actually spy up in the distance. Let's see here. You actually spy this large cliffside kind of like facing you. It kind of rises up from the jungle canopy, and you can actually spy it through all the breakages in the clearings. It seems like there's actually structures built into the side of this large sheer wall. It appears that you have come across the the village of Kir Sabal. Oh yeah.
Nice. I need 2 things. An inn and a bath. And that's it.
Okay. Perhaps Sabal can accommodate those needs.
Perhaps.
Alright, I'm gonna hide this map from y'all so y'all can take you to the actual place.
See the map of Sabal? If the first building on the left isn't like Bath's Emporium, I'm going to scream.
I'm gonna ask Tiro if there's any place specific he needs to go to, like in terms of like where he needs to go.
Tiro just kind of turns to you and he says, like, get me to a place of safety and somewhere that I can, a place that has communication with Portney and Zaru, and I will just wait here until my father's men come and get me.
Very well. Is there any place I can see that is like a communication center?
Not at first glance. As you get a little bit closer, you see large buildings and like what appears to be like a wooden structure that's kind of like broken down that kind of goes up from the ground floor and kind of like weaves in and out to get to all the buildings. You know, I'm just going to take you to the map because it's whatever.
Sick.
Alright. Do y'all see everything?
There we go. It just was a little bit blurry. Okay, so let me zoom the fuck out.
Whoa! So it's like built in the side of a mountain?
Into the side of this cliff's face, yeah. Just very sheer cliffside.
I investigate for a bathhouse.
Roll a medicine, or sorry, not medicine, investigation.
I will look into myself and my own organs and see if there's a bath within this place.
Okay, so this place looks abandoned. Are there any people?
You actually see every so often Aarakocra fly into this place. Large bird people. They kind of like fly into like the large buildings. They don't seem to need the structures, like the bridges that connect from building to building, because they can just simply fly there. So you actually see an ancient monastery overlooks the jungle from its perch on a cliff of a tall plateau. Stone steps and rickety walkways connect the various buildings, the lowest of which is 500 feet above the ground. The main building has a circular maze-like symbol carved into its crumbling facade. Every few minutes, birdfolk either land at the monastery or launch themselves from its balconies and take to the sky.
It's a pretty... Can I investigate or just check out the wooden, like the path, like if it's safe for everyone to walk on, or if it's gonna just crumble immediately?
Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
It's probably gonna be fine.
Oh, and
investigation.
You don't see anything that looks like apparent overt signs of plumbing, that support like running water. But perhaps they have something, from more natural, from the rain and stuff.
Nope, I can't tell shit.
Not even like a bird bath, like a pool. They can just like.
But I'm gonna get a second opinion. I'm gonna ask someone in our group to see if they can tell if it's safe to walk up these steps. Just like if like any of us can tell, like maybe Rana can tell, or I don't know.
So Azaka actually has an extreme fear of heights, and she says, "I'm going to stay down here if that's okay." And she says,
"Who said that?"
I don't care if those Azaka said that.
Okay.
The were-tiger. And she says, I don't care if those platforms are structurally sound. I'm staying where my feet can reach the earth.
Alright, fair enough. He said,
probably gonna be fine.
I understand. And he's like simply looks at the path again. I can't tell if it's safe to walk up these steps, though.
So I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to figure out. It seems like the lowest walkway is 500 feet above the ground, just to even get to the walkway, because it seems like it has crumbled to that point. You see where it says like plus 500 feet.
So we can't get up there right now.
Not without climbing the cliff itself.
Let's see here.
It's a good thing I got that. Where is it? I had it.
I have a Dungeoneer pack. Let's see. Do I have any climbing gear?
I had climber's kit. Don't worry, guys. I have a climber's kit.
Okay. It says right here. The monastery structure could be reached by ascending a path that combines natural stone ramps cut into the cliff face and wooden walkways built into the cliff. The ramp and steps are still mostly intact, and you can actually see like a path that they cut into the mountainside that kind of takes you up to that first wooden platform on the bottom. It's precarious, but like with slow, easy stepping, you could probably get up to the top. It seems like it's been there a long time. It's not going anywhere anytime soon.
What's up? Are you sure you want to stay down here? I mean, there's probably a lot of fun to be had up there.
I am perfectly okay down here on the grounds. If there's anything exciting, I trust you will come down and tell me about it. Yes.
I say I will do that, and if it'll make you feel any better, I will come down once everyone is up there, and I will stay by your side.
I trust that you're missing out on a good time, but whatever. I begin climbing upwards.
Okay.
Before I do, I'm gonna offer. All right, so hold on. I'm gonna offer for everyone else to tie themselves onto me with my 50 feet of hempen rope from my Dungeoneer pack.
Okay.
I'm gonna offer I'll take the lead, and if anyone wants to be tied right now up to me, I will try to scale us up the wall. If you fall, I will catch you.
Okay.
This is what I'm offering right now. So I'm just gonna tie. I'm gonna offer either, or they can tie their own knots onto me with the hempen rope, and I'm gonna scale the mountain until I can get to like a good point to like start walking up the steps or whatever you said it was.
I'm gonna BRB.
Just a precaution.
Okay. All right. Ibor, I imagine your character is somewhere in this monastery. I'm just placing him there via DM powers. There are 2 more NPCs in our group as well. There is kind of like a princess, kind of the wife of a merchant prince who has been rescued by the party, and her bodyguard. And she is ecstatic at finding some semblance of civilization. And she says, perhaps they actually have food to eat instead of bugs and rotten fruits and whatever strange things we find in the jungle.
He says, well, the only one way to find out is to climb. Here, Matt. You said she was royalty, right?
Come again?
You said she was royalty, right?
She was, yes.
So he says, Garen just says, I'm sure we can find something up there once we make it up the cliffside, Your Majesty.
Hopefully.
So is everyone gonna like tie the rope to themselves and let me climb? No. Start climbing.
So the bodyguard and the princess have tied themselves to the rope. Azaka's staying down there. Azaka, actually, the princess actually commands her bodyguard to stay with Azaka. She says, "You stay with her and make sure she has some company. I don't want to lose any more people in our group." But I'm going up. And the bodyguard, what was his name again?
Brax.
Brax, B-R-A-X. He says, "But Your Highness, I have sworn an oath to protect you, and I must stay by your sides day and night." And she says, "Yes, but I supersede your oath. Is that not correct? What I say goes." And he seems very reluctant, and he kind of like bites his tongue. He's about to say something, but he just kind of nods.
I will offer. I say, once we get up to the cliff, I will come back down, and you may start scaling on your own. If that would make you happier.
I suppose, but I don't want to leave Azaka here by herself. And Azaka kind of waves him off. She says, "It's fine. I'm used to being by myself in the jungle. It will be all right." And Brax says,
"No, but I said I would come down and take his place, so to speak. So I would be down here with her."
"Okay."
That's what I'm offering right now.
Oh, right now? Oh, I see.
So after I get everyone up onto the city or whatever it is, like the monastery, I will come back down and tell Brax he can go up and be with the princess.
Brax says, "You're too kind. Is that all right, Your Highness?" And she just kind of nods.
All right. So is everyone tied onto me? Rana, the bodyguard, Brax. Okay. And I will lead the way and start climbing.
Okay. Rana was someone that picked up at the last adventure. She was kind of a local villager. She was the one who told the tale about this plant monster, and she managed to be the only survivor from her village. Everyone else was either killed by those bandits that had kidnapped Tiro, the ambassador, or had been killed by the plant monster, you know. Ebor, do you have any questions at all for me at this point?
She also cursed us.
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, just kind of listening along. All right, so y'all kind of meander up the cut inside of the cliffside. You see, like, these steps are worn and ancient. They seem to have been here for hundreds of years. You know, like the path of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. You know, one of these steps has some like arcane writing on it, and it probably says something like you would see in a fortune cookie, like, here's the first step of 1,000 steps or whatever. But it's worn down and you can't quite read it, and it's in a language you don't fully understand. You kind of walk up this path. The wind is kind of whipping at your cloaks, and you know the rope, you know, is kind of whipping around as well. It seems like this plateau just soaks up the sun and provides thermal updrafts that the Aerococra use to glide up into the sky, you know, traveling for miles. It takes a bit, but you manage to get yourself up to the top of where the stone cut inlaid path connects to the first wooden bridge. And the bridge extends for about 10 feet, then stops at where it seems like it was crumbled away at some point.
All right, so we're pretty set right now, right? Everyone's good.
I believe so.
Okay.
Fingers well, right?
So the first gap is about 7 or 8 feet, but it also has the other side of the gap has an increased elevation of about 3 feet.
All right. So this is something we're gonna probably have to jump over, right?
8-foot jump. That's 8-foot jump across and then up. That's not a good idea.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Because I'm not a part of this chain thing that my friend here over here is. I go forward and I say, does anyone have any platoons that get sticking to the side of this mountain?
I believe they're called pitons. Maybe your character doesn't know that, though.
Platoon.
I do not have a. Do you have a climber's kit? You have the platoons, I think. If you have a climber's.
I have a climber's kit, but I don't got no platoons.
Really? That doesn't come with platoons? Okay.
They weren't included?
They are included?
I think they are. I could be wrong.
Well,
it's a climber's gear. I would imagine it would have platoons. Let's see.
I will use my platoons to make kind of like
Yeah,
an
pick up
impromptu platoon. Use my platoons to make like a like kind of like a rope bridge across.
Okay.
Very small.
So you're gonna be like just kind of like dangling from that gap.
Yeah.
Cool. Go ahead and give me a athletics with advantage
With advantage.
because of your
Buzzing.
climbing kit.
Funny.
Nice. So you managed to hammer in a bunch of like pitons, these spikes into the wall, connecting various anchor points for your rope to traverse. I imagine you need to use a separate set of rope because one set of rope is being used to tie everyone together. But you managed to create a passable bridge across the first gap. Everyone manages to get across, but the princess is fearful and kind of closes her eyes, and she doesn't seem to have the strength to quite get across since it's.
I will go and I will offer my hand.
Oh, come on.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a athletics roll as well.
Athletics? Alright, let's see.
Let's go.
Garen's page. Athletics is a 7, so let's see.
Nice. Yeah, you managed to grab the princess around the waist and just kind of hoist yourself, across the rope. You're taking your one hand and one leg, and you're just kind of, I guess you have one leg looped around the rope in one hand, and you're just kind of pulling yourself using the other hand to kind of like carry her around her waist. She has her eyes closed and she seems to be whimpering, quite softly. But you have managed to get across the first gap. Excellent.
And I ask her, you okay, Your Majesty?
Please, just don't drop me.
I got you.
Alright, so you managed to get up to the next gap. It seems to be a small, rickety, solitary platform just based off of one beam that is protruding from the side of the cliff. It kind of leans forward on either side depending on where the weight is.
Oh, could I say that I got my platoon stuff back from?
I will say that. Go ahead and roll me a athletics check. Actually, just straight strength.
Can I offer him assistance?
No, not in this case.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. The natural 20.
To what? That's 20.
You managed to get all of them out of the wall. Good job.
Nice.
So this gap isn't as far, but the platform that you're standing on is very imbalanced. Are you going to take the same strategy and apply it again?
How far is it?
I would say it's probably a 5-foot gap, and an increase in inclination or elevation of 2 feet.
So if it's like this like tiny little plank, I'm just gonna hammer a platoon onto this side and then go across and hammer a platoon onto the other side so it's straight. And then I'm gonna give my 50-foot hempen rope across. I'm gonna throw it across to her or him to the buddy pal amigo whoever's on the other side. Garen. Sorry. So that they can like grab onto the rope and like have it. It's kind of like a balancing thing while they're crossing.
Okay. All right. I would say. Would you say this is more acrobatics or athletics in this instance?
I'm good with either one.
All right. I'll say give me an acrobatics roll.
Yeah. 8. Fuck.
8.
I die.
All right. So as you are performing this task, you actually slip. You're just focused with the task at hand. That you actually the hold that you're holding on to. You don't realize this is a bad one. It just breaks. And you fall a total of 30 feet, only to be like snapped by the rope that you're being held by. And Garen, you feel like this tug. You see a blackjack fall. Go ahead and give me a strength.
I wasn't. I wasn't attached to the rope.
You weren't tied in with Garen and everyone else.
No,
as
I
a
just
safety?
said I went along forward.
Can I like try and grab him before he falls?
Blackjack, go to give me a dexterity save.
Guys, I'm really good at dexterity.
And Garen, go ahead and give me a athletics roll.
Athletics. All right.
So Blackjack, you managed to grab the edge of the platform, and the platform seems to be tipping towards one side. Garen, you just quickly reach down and you grab him. You just rip him up and then place him down onto the platform safe again. You know, Blackjack, your just heart is racing wildly. You know, your life flashed before your eyes a little bit.
Whoa!
And I say to Blackjack, that's why we have the rope. I show him the
Whatever.
Do you wish to die? Tie yourself to the rope. That is an order.
I'm fine. Look at me. Everything worked out. Okay? No need to freak out.
I don't want to worry about you too.
You don't. I'm perfectly fine.
That doesn't look like that to me. But if you want to kill yourself, so be it.
Alright, I'm gonna give myself a little advantage here. I'm gonna take off my heavy armor, and I'm just gonna put it near Garen.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna shimmy across.
Okay.
Second time.
shimmy, shimmy, shimmy.
I'll let you roll
We're
acrobatics
gonna-
with advantage.
Oh!
Nice.
There you go.
You managed to get across. You know, maybe you're near the fear of falling is keeping you like safely on the rope as you get across. The wind kind of whipping at you, threatening to like tear you from the safety of the wall, but you managed to get across.
I've given Garen the rope. So I assume that we'd like pull it taut at this point so that they could have something to like have a handle on as they're going across, because I put a platoon on this side as well.
Sure. What I'm imagining is like a rope for a person to walk across, tightrope style, and then a rope above it, kind of as a handheld, like a place. Yeah, I like that. That's very cool.
So do you want me to toss? I'm gonna ask. You want me to toss you your armor? I'm not carrying this.
Ask Roman to put it in the bag of holding. I don't think I need it that much anymore.
Roman's like, all right, yeah, sure enough, and just kind of like pushes it down in there. It's like, this thing's getting pretty full. I don't know how much more it can.
Do you think? I ask him. Do you think I could fit my armor?
Maybe that might be pushing it. We can at least try.
I take off my armor and I give it to him and see if he can shove it in the bag.
He manages to get everything in it but the helmet.
All right, that's fine. I'll put the helmet in my bag.
Okay.
2 shirtless dudes.
I'm not sure. I got comic clothes. I
don't.
Everyone manages to.
So you just see
this. The second. Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Just say like I offer the princess once again to just take my side, so to speak, or whatever it is that I did last time.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I like it. Everyone with the aid of those ropes and those fantastic rolls managed to get across that second gap, and y'all are just a little bit closer towards getting up towards the main area. Some of these lower areas you see seem to be like houses, simple like structures, but the taller buildings up towards the top seem to have like some sort of importance. Maybe they're ritualistic or some cultural significance to them. All right, I'm going to roll for Garen or for Roman, and let's see what he gets.
0.
Where is? Oh, here it is. Roman is going to give me a perception roll, and Blackjack, you're about to step on one of the wooden planks when Roman kind of grabs you by the scruff of your clothes and pulls you back, and he says, "Blackjack, that plank is rotten. I don't think that would hold your weight."
So it's just the one plank, right? It's not like the whole section?
It seems like there's planks every so often that that are rotting. It seems like this whole structure is kind of falling apart and is not the most stable.
I slap Roman's hand away and I say, I think, thanks for the advice, but I think I have it from here. And I go,
I'm gonna let him do that, but I am gonna take the cautious route, and I'm gonna tap every plank with my sword, just like with the sheath sword. I'm just gonna tap it to see if it like cracks or something.
Okay. Yeah, you see every so often like a plank actually like splits and falls down into the abyss below.
And I'm just cautioning everyone just to follow my footsteps, like follow where I step.
Okay. They all kind of like give the leadership role to you. Okay, you've made it now. You've made it now up to the first row of houses, and peeking inside, you see that they're all filled with each house seems to have at least like 4 or 5, sometimes 8 Aarakocra. They seem to be just kind of inside, either like cooking meals that they're preparing for dinner, or getting ready to roost for the night. And they all kind of look at you like inquisitively. They don't seem to like say anything. They just one of them gives you like a nod of like friendly enough greeting.
to the first Aarakocra I see, I look at them and I say, Is there a bathhouse in this town?
One of them says, "There is in the main building in the temple." And like this like squawkety like raspy voice.
Before Blackjack runs off, I kind of grab him, pull him to the side, and just say, Blackjack, I'm gonna leave these people with you. I point to like everyone that's with us. Try not to get into too much trouble. Please look after them.
Yeah.
And I let him go.
You're leaving these people with me.
I need to. I promised that I would go back for Brax.
This... Not the best decision you made, but I will respect your decision.
I'm aware that I have made a terrible decision looking at him.
I say, "Come on, guys!" and I run off towards the place where the bathhouse is.
And I say to everyone, please be safe.
Okay, so y'all are in the lower areas, like, wait, let me get this stupid thing done.
And before everyone, like, I go to the princess and I say, I'll send Brax up.
Okay, so y'all are right here. In order to proceed, there are still a few more gaps in the bridge, but once you get to about right here, y'all should be good to go. One of the Aarakocra says, "Are you trying to get to the top of Sabal?"
Yep.
And she says, "I think there's something we have for you ground dwellers." And he kind of like goes into the back of his house, and he returns with like 2 like ladders, wooden ladders, and he kind of hands them to you, and he says, "This will get you across the gaps in the bridge. Be sure to return them when you're done with them."
Cool, thanks.
Can I have one of those? I'm not there, but can I have one?
Yeah, he seems to have. He gives you a ladder as well. He gives
me many.
He gives you each a ladder. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I will go down and let Brax know that he can come up.
Okay. Brax takes his time and slowly makes his way up to the area. I suppose you're hanging down there with Azaka.
Yep, I am just gonna sit down right next to her, and I'm just put my back onto like the mountainside. But before I did, I make sure to ask Roman to give me my armor as well.
Roman,
so I don't.
Yep, Roman does. He also gives you a potion of greater healing or superior healing, and he says, just in case you need it, try to report back to me as soon as possible. We won't be here long if we can help it. He's very concerned for like Azaka, and he doesn't want to like make her wait.
Meanwhile, while he's saying that, Blackjack is having a blast, checking out the shops. He's wondering how long he can book and stay at the inn for.
So you are stopped about right here at this building to the right, and one of them says, "Stop. This is the sacred cleansing chamber. And you actually like peer over his shoulder, and you actually see like running water and like a it seems like some sort of like waterfall into like this pool of water.
Well, what a coincidence, because I came for some sacred cleansing, and I was wondering if in that big temple you'd have anything for this, and I show him my big old unicorn horn on the back of my head.
And I'm gonna put you over here to the left. And,
Oh, here we go, combat, boys. I have to fight a bunch of birds to get my bath.
and he says, "I don't know anything about that, but perhaps the elder can help you. Um, I suppose you can go up and see him, but don't touch anything." And he kind of lets you into the room. You see like this. It's kind of like this small washing room, but I imagine it's a lot bigger because that's how I have it imagined in my head. Like it's a big, like 10 foot by 10 foot, like waterfall pool area, and water's kind of flowing down into it. There's like incense being burned in the air, and what else is there? You see like you see like chalk and salt to be like put in the water to make it like bath salts and stuff. And you actually see like a vial of some sparkly material. You're not quite sure what it is, and it's on one of the desks there. What do you do?
So there's the bath, and then there's the thing upstairs.
Yep.
I'm gonna bathe. I'm gonna get down to my basics. And I'm gonna hop into the sacred cleansing, whatever.
The thing that he said not to?
Oh wait, didn't he? Was that a thing I wasn't supposed to do?
He said, you can talk to the elder first. He said, don't touch anything. He said,
he said talk to the elder first.
Well, as I'm stripping, I'm like, oh wait! That's right, I just forgot. You just said that. And then I get my pants back on, and I go upstairs.
Right. You're gonna get everyone thrown off the side of the cliff. I can already call it.
So you go up the ladder and to this area, and you actually see a wooden case with shelves of candles, and it looks like a coat rack that has a bunch of scarves. They seem to be for like visitors to the monastery, because you haven't seen a single Aarakocra wearing a scarf. Perhaps it gets pretty chilly up here with the winds and the high altitude. At the east end of the chamber is a 5-foot tall wooden statue with flowers and offerings of food placed at its feet. The statue is obviously very old, and it's worn, almost smoothed by thousands of hands brushing against it, so it's impossible to determine what it originally portrayed. Offerings left here are picked up daily by Ashura's servant and placed on the statues in the monastery or the elder's house. You actually see a figure kind of like sitting down on the ground, in front of the shrine. Perhaps this is a good place for me to introduce Ebol's character, or Ebor, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Up to you, Ebor, or you can just kind of listen in for the night, and we can introduce your character next time.
Well, I think that's more up to you. After this fits where you want to introduce me.
We'll say that your character is kind of just passing through, and has stopped here to learn about the dance of the seven winds, and you're just kind of told to sit here in meditation until you are summoned. And you've just been sitting here for probably like 3 or 4 hours now. All of a sudden, this person just breaks into this upstairs room that you're in, causing a racket. Obviously, not the most polite, kind of like a brash individual, and he just kind of like disturbs your peaceful meditation. And scene.
Obviously, I'm jolted. I look at him. He's all armed. Well, actually, no, he's not armored anymore, is he?
Yeah.
It's probably a good place for us to describe what our characters look like.
Yeah. What does your character look like? The Sat?
Well, he's a human, early 20s. He's got a shaved head with a tattoo on his head that looks kind of like a starburst or like an ankh with spikes coming out of it. And he's got a kind of a dirty robe that is probably used to be red. It's kind of like but it looks kind of purple and brown now. He's obviously been running through the jungle and it's all torn up and shit.
So, Blackjack, as it currently stands, is a exactly 7 foot tall green dragonborn fellow, who he's not wearing any armor right now. He just has like pants on, like these shabby kind of like peasantry pants, and like that's it. He's very dirty, caked in mud and grime and bits of leaves, just across his form. But the most strange thing about him is that on both sides of his head, he has these two kind of like ram horns that extend, kind of like curl around at the side of his cheek, and then like on the uppermost part of his head, kind of sticking out from the back of his kind of like reptilian skull, he's got this like slightly glowing unicorn horn that's this pale blue color.
Quick question. Should I talk about my character, or should I wait until my character is introduced to him? Because I am at the bottom of the cliff, and I have a feeling I won't be talking to him anytime soon.
That is up to you.
Alright. I think I'll give it to him, because, again, I'm at the bottom of the cliff. I'm probably not going to talk to him for, like, a good while. I am a human as well. I'm an age 26, 6 foot 5 inch dude. I have gray eyes, semi-tan skin, and black hair. I'm pretty armored, and I'm a fighter just like Blackjack, and I'm not as rude. I'm a very kind-hearted soul.
I look.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I look down on this figure and I say, "Having fun there, buddy?"
More dinosaurs, and this one talks.
He's gonna cut you in half. Session.
Clench my fists. Well, pink skin. I guess that we can throw out the pleasantries then. What are you doing up here? And do you know I can get to the elder or whatever? You don't seem like a bird person.
You have been just told to just sit here and wait, and you'll be summoned when it's time.
That's what I've been told, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I'll relay that. I don't know if I know really the layout of this place.
This is as far as have gotten into the monastery.
All right, and yeah, I don't really know my way around here any better than you, it seems.
Interesting. Do you want to get in there?
Well, I don't want to barge in. I assume just wait.
Well, it wouldn't hurt to knock. That's what I'm saying. Let him know we're here.
How about if I stand behind you?
People usually do that. I go forward.
All right.
Towards the door.
As you go towards the door, an elderly Arakocra approaches, and he says, Ivor, and a friend, I see. A new guest. It seems you knew that I was coming, and you rose up to greet me. I am honored by your show of homage.
Do I know who this is?
What's that?
Do I know who this is?
You don't. You see that this, let's see here, this elderly Arakocra, he's got like these robes on that are blue and gold, and they kind of go down to the floor and drag behind him. And he's got like this headpiece on, and he's got a bunch of gold flecks like that sparkle in his wings. You're not quite sure from what source. And he's got a simple leather necklace with a silver and jade pendant that kind of goes around his neck, and he has beads woven into his feathers, and has these hawk-like eyes that kind of just peer into your soul, Blackjack and Igor. And he says, "Come, it is time. Get the rest of your group," he says to you, Blackjack, as if he just knows, that there's more in your party.
For a bath? I mean...
He says, "Yes, first you must bathe and cleanse yourself before you can enter into the monastery."
Oh, looks like I'm not the only one who needs a bath. Then I slap my newfound acquaintance on the back of the, in between his shoulders, the shoulder blades, and then I go back downstairs.
Okay. Can we go to me now?
Sure.
Because I got something.
Yep, absolutely. Let's.
So I'm gonna talk to Azaka,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna say, you afraid of heights? I point up to the buildings.
Yes, I am deathly afraid of heights. My father was killed while we were exploring the mountainsides on the west side of Chult, and that was the last that I saw of him as he tumbled down the cliffside.
Also, before you continue, I just want to tell, Garen is twirling a broken hilt of a sword in his hand, just
Okay.
waiting.
I don't understand. Why do you carry that with you? That seems like dead weight that you could use to carry more water with.
Oh, this? You may have a point, but this was a gift. He goes to explain, I was taught how to fight by a very, very strong man. He taught me everything I know, and he saved me once when I was very little, and I begged him to teach me the ways of the sword.
This man must be very important to you.
Yes.
I too have an item that reminds me of someone who is important to me. And she reaches into her pack and she pulls out this wooden mask that's carved in the likeness of a tiger. And she kind of puts it on, and it seems to fit her face as if it was made for her. And it's got paint on it, but it's been worn now. You just see the semblance of what used to be paint. It's faded with time and sun. And she says, "Your friend Roman helped me get this mask. When we first met him, I didn't trust him, but after he helped me retrieve it, I'm eternally grateful. This is the last thing I have that reminds me of my father."
And he nods at that and just smiles at her, just that's nice. It's nice to have something that reminds you of those that are important to you. And that story you told me about what happened with your father in the mountain. Sometimes things that we fear can become... It could overpower us sometimes. But learning to overcome that fear is just part of what makes us human. What makes us alive.
She nods and she says, "Yes, I had to set aside my fear of heights when I went to retrieve this mask. It was held aloft on this tall spire filled with Aarakocra, or not Aarakocra, terra folk, pterodactyl people."
Mm-hmm.
And she says, "It was only the thought of retrieving my father's last gift to me is what kept me going. I closed my eyes and I would see his face smiling at me, and that gave me the strength to move on.
And Gary like stands up, like still back to the cliffside, just like leaning on it, and just says, you could still try and give it another shot, learning how to get over this fear. I could help you.
I don't know. Just then you hear rustling in the trees past like the clearing, like the forest line, and we're gonna jump back to Ebor and Blackjack.
Shit.
Alright, so as we jump back, I just want to, just for the scene, it's just like Blackjack turning to Igor and being like, it's not like emasculate, is it, to have like a unicorn horn? It's not like weird or anything? I mean...
This is a very interesting question coming.
Are you some kind of unicorn?
Yeah, I show him my horn on the back of my head.
As he shows it to him, it actually kind of shifts to like this like pale blue color, kind of like sky blue.
Also, before anything else happens to my character, can I say I got a short rest for my superiority dice?
I believe you got a short rest earlier when you.
Yep. All right, that's enough for me to get my superiority dice back.
Yeah, when you buried your friend Leskar.
All right, so I am not completely defenseless.
Nope.
Let's see, Garen, superiority die up to 4. Hell yeah. I believe I also get action surge back. I think I still have 1 charge of action surge.
Is it action surge long rest or short rest?
I want to say short rest.
Oh, short or long.
Okay, well, I have it back too now, so worst comes to worst.
Yep, I'm all set for a fight if it has to come down to that.
All right then, perfect. You see that the elder, he's kind of like looking over the two of you, and he says, "Undress and bathe yourself in the pool of cleansing." And he kind of like takes a couple of the vials of liquid, and even takes the vial with like the sparkly material and kind of dumps it into the water, and the waterfall kind of helps mix it all together. And you smell like this scent of like this like perfume, or like this very nice like fragrance. It's kind of reminds you of like a field of like daisies or tulips.
How deep is the pool?
It's probably, I would say, like 4.5 feet deep, and it's got like a seat. It's got like a seat to it, kind of jacuzzi style, around the edge, like underneath the water.
I stand at the foot of it, and then I just like, the only way I can explain it is like a monolith tipping over. I just splash into the pool.
Ebor, you actually see the elder frown at this, but then his face changes back to this neutral countenance. And what do you do?
Try to maintain my composure as if this is all very normal. And going him in the bath, I suppose, if there's enough room for both of us at the same time.
Oh, there definitely is. This is probably like a 15-foot diameter circular bath, and water seems to flow in from the ceiling in this waterfall, and seems to like trail down like these the opposite side, and like kind of pour off the side down the outside of the building somewhere. You're not quite sure where it goes.
And yes, I will scrub my dirty ass.
I will stay underwater for as long as possible.
Okay. What is your Constitution modifier?
Dose.
I think you can stay underwater for 5 minutes, if I remember correctly. think you can stay underwater for 5 minutes.
For a long
'Cause I
time.
think it's like 3 minutes plus spell or Constitution modifier. Do you hold your breath for the full 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm holding my breath for as long as possible. I'm like a snake in water. I'm just twirling around.
Okay, it's right here. Can hold its breath for 1 minute, or 1 plus Constitution modifier. So 3 minutes then.
Nice.
All right. Do you do anything with this? Do you see or say anything, Ebor? You know, he just dove underwater and he's not coming up for air.
Drown.
I just figured you
Alright.
All right. Back down on the ground, out of the jungle emerges.
Azaka 2 comes out.
I tell Azaka to stand beside me, and I pull out my shield and sword.
Okay. Out of the jungle emerges this large, giant scorpion, and kind of like runs up to look at y'all. It seems like it periodically zones this area for things that have fallen off the balcony that it can feast upon. And I'm gonna need y'all to roll initiative.
So he gave me a superior potion of healing, right? Just
Just in case.
Wait,
greater.
you had 2?
Or was it greater?
You had 2 superior potions. Yep.
Okay. By the way, how's Azaka doing on health? Just out of question.
Azaka seems to be doing fine.
Okay.
Blackjack, you can roll initiative 2 if you want.
Wait, how did I...
Yeah, I'm gonna roll initiative, you guys. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
Even
what
when
was
I'm not
it?
even there.
What was the initiative again? It was,
It is on your sheet. You have access to your sheet now, right?
Yeah, I do.
So you can go ahead and, next to your armor class is a little button that says
just click on initiative, right?
Yes, you can. And then one thing that will help you out is I'm going to give everyone access to a macro, which allows you to roll initiative so much easier. If I can find it.
Just do this, right? I believe so.
Wait, why did we and Vasat roll initiative?
Because maybe you somehow find out about this attack and you
We're
do
having
something about it.
cool fun times in the jacuzzi.
No Valen
you know
token was selected. Oh, that's right. I need to click on me, I think, right? To,
Yes.
like, set it?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, it's for the contrast. So when it gets to our turn, because we both rolled 5s,
You have 6 seconds of action to play around in the water.
we'll have 6 seconds of action. Cut back to us for 6 seconds. Oh man, the water's so nice up here. It comes
I
back
got
and
a
I'm getting
20. Hell
fucking
yeah.
killed.
Oh yeah, this will be perfect. I like this a lot. And then we'll switch back down to the ground where, you know, Garen's pulling a giant, like, scorpion stinger out of her stomach. And then switch.
Okay.
Dying in his arms. Why is that no?
Blackjack, go ahead and roll initiative for me, because I like that a lot.
I did. I rolled a 5.
But you didn't select your token.
Oh. Do it again.
So you get to technically roll again.
You get to go with Ebor, which is perfect because you two will be doing things elsewhere.
It's nothing.
You get to do jack shit because you don't know this is happening.
Alright.
Maybe I'll swan dive off the side.
So if you guys, I'm going to add in this macro where all you have to do is click on your token and click the initiative button so you don't have to open up your character sheet. It's super helpful for me as a DM, but maybe y'all want to use it as well. There's Blackjack, here we go. Do you see it on your character sheet now? Okay, cool.
I'm considering just using an athletics check to just get up this away for the scorpion. Because I would also have to convince Azaka. That's the problem here.
All right. So I kind of want to like alternate between happy fun music and like combat music.
Yep.
I think I want to. Is it Wackety Sax on Fan Burst?
I just like this image of just Garen and Azaka fighting off this giant scorpion. Just an intense battle, and then we go over to Blackjack just bathing calmly in the pool.
Yeah, like blowing bubbles under the water, splashing each other.
I wonder if Garen's doing okay. He'll be fine.
Alright, so first up it is Garen. What are you doing?
Alright, so first things first, will stand in front of her and the scorpion. Still within 5 feet for that disadvantage. If it does attack her instead.
Okay.
So am I in range to hit it, right?
Yep.
Alright, so I will go for, let's see. Where are my superiority die stuff? Let's see, so I can rally, distracting strike, and painting attack. Okay, so I'm going to use distracting strike, one of my superiority dice, for my first hit.
Okay.
So that's distracting strike as the DS. Okay, so this one.
And
okay,
that manages to pierce its carapace. Nice.
Alright, that's 13 slashing, right?
It is indeed. Let me see
Alright.
if it's reduced by anything. Nope, you are good. Alright, good job. A mighty blow. You struck.
And I will hit it again with my extra attack. Okay, so that is another slash with just a normal longsword attack.
Okay. This one, however, just deflected by its tail, its stinger, just like almost knocks the sword completely out of your hand.
Okay.
Alright, and with that...
And just before I go off,
oh, sorry.
I'm gonna use second wind, because I do have that as well. That's
Sure.
my bonus action.
Absolutely.
So that's 1d10 plus your fighter level, which is 5. So I get 5 plus 1d10.
Nice.
Wait, isn't it? Don't you have to expend a hit dice to do that?
No, that's just a 1d10.
I believe you...
Okay.
Okay. You know, your
It just says 1d10.
Okay, maybe I'm thinking of something else, where you get to roll your hit die in the middle of combat.
So I click on just second wind, right, for that?
Sure.
Oh, it doesn't have a thing. Okay.
We'll have to make a macro for that. Go ahead and roll 1d10 plus 2.
Right,
Or
so
plus
the
5,
dice.
because it's your fighter level.
So 1d10.
So 15 health, nice.
Shit.
That's max.
15 health.
Yep.
Hey.
Good job.
So let's see. So what does that put me at? Let me click on my character.
You
real
can
quick.
click on your cleric or token and click on the green bubble.
So 23.
And then you can actually hit plus and then type in 15 and it'll do it for you.
Plus 15? Okay. And just says save changes?
And
Or
then
just enter?
Just hit enter. Did that update for you? There you go, 38. You see that?
Nice.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, it is the giant scorpion's turn. So the giant scorpion clicks its mandibles and its pincers threateningly, and it's going to kind of snap at you with each claw. And
Nope, neither.
neither of them hit. And then it's going to raise its stinger menacingly, and it's going to try to sting you with that.
Nope.
And that misses as well. Alright, Azaka goes. So Azaka is going to pull out her longbow and is going to fire 2 arrows at the stinger. And the first one bounces off its thick carapace, but the second one strikes true and it stabs into the tail midsection, piercing it for 8 damage. Alright, and next is Blackjack and Igor.
Blackjack blows bubbles for his turn.
Yeah. I'm going to stay underwater for longer and see how many circles I can do within 6 seconds.
Okay, go ahead and
If I
give
can
me
do, like,
a
the-
athletics check.
Oh, continue?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I want to see if I can do this Cerberus thing, like bite my own tail.
Oh, I see. I thought you were just swimming circles. Okay, go ahead and give me acrobatics.
Yeah! Look at that. Funny.
Oh, you totally
Across the board.
You totally do it. The water's kind of cloudy, Ebor. Go ahead and give me a perception check and actually see if you can actually see what Blackjack's up to.
Oh no. This is good. Good combat.
I am not a fan of that 30% damage.
You guys might be dead.
Ebor, are you there?
I am.
Go ahead and give me a perception check. The water's kind of cloudy from all the incense and the stuff.
From what the DM told me when she attacked the tail, I could cut the tail off.
Nice. So you see Blackjack like making a circle with his body and like biting his tail underwater, and I guess you have really no idea what's going on here. Anything you do in your 6 seconds?
Do I hear anything?
You don't hear anything outside.
Alright, then,
Everything's just peace and quiet, just nice and enjoyable.
then no.
Alright, then. Continue bathing. Alright, Garen, what are you doing?
I don't know, because I could either try and cut the tail, or I could convince Azaka to run and climb the mountain with me.
Okay.
Because that is 30 goddamn. That would straight up kill me.
Oh, the damage?
Yeah, the 30 damage, because I'm at 36, so with the piercing damage, that would have killed me. At least knock me out.
Do it.
I'm gonna
use your limitless charisma.
Alright, I can still use my attacks, right?
Yep.
That there's no movement required. Okay, so
You can use your action to disengage.
I could use my action to disengage. Or I could use my action search and just kind of use that, like hit the try to cut off the tail and search and try to tell her to run with me and go up the mountain.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hit it with 2 attacks, another superior dice. With let's see. Feigning attack. I'm gonna have advantage on my next attack roll. So this is the one I'm gonna use it on. So this one will hit. Feigning attack. Let's see. Is that the one? Yeah, feigning attack. FA.
Okay, that definitely hits.
16 slashing damage on the tail.
Nice.
Is that coming off or not?
It looks like it's hanging on by some tendons and some of the carapace is just kind of holding
okay.
on. It's pretty thick, but it's probably like
let's-
as thick as your leg.
Okay. Let's see.
Imagine your leg, but coated in like this chitinous armor.
Okay. Can I use 2 superior dice in turn for both attacks, or is it just 1?
I think you can use security dice for different attacks. I don't think you can stack.
So I can't use it on my extra.
I don't see why not. I'll have to look into that more, but we'll say go ahead for now.
So yes for now?
Yeah, yes for now.
Okay, so I will use 1 more to hit it with another feigning attack to see if I can finish cutting off this tail.
Okay. Nice, a mighty blow. You see, like this, it manages to deflect it with its claws. It seems like it senses you're focusing it for its tail, and it raises up its claw, and you kind of cut into the thick meat of its claw. It defended itself against that fatal attack.
Okay. But it still takes like a shitload of damage. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's like 15 damage for sure.
I will use my action surge. I get another action on top of like a possible bonus action. Okay. So I will basically try and yell at Siaka. We need to scale this mountain now. That tail looks really bad. If it hits us, we're dead.
Azaka says, I don't know. I'm not quite sure what to do.
Trust me. I got you. Hold on to my back. Dig your claws into me if you have to. I will make sure you not fall.
Okay, Azaka starts backing up towards the start of those stairs,
and we will disengage.
Okay.
I basically just ask her to just mount my back and hold on as tight as.
So just for the future, disengage takes up your whole action, and but were you not to disengage and you were to...
I didn't move, so I still have my movement.
You still have your movement, yes. So you would take an opportunity attack in this account circumstance. If that, did you see what where I'm getting at?
So doesn't disengage stop opportunity attacks though?
Yes, but it takes your full action, and so you can either decide to use your action to attack, and then you have, being a fighter, within your action you have extra attacks and your offhand as a bonus attack, or you can choose to, instead of swinging with your swords and blades, to spend your whole action to disengage.
Yeah, so I disengage and I would proc opportunity attacks. Yes?
Yes, so you would not be able to swing your sword in this case then.
That's fine. I'm just basically grabbing Azaka on my back and trying to scale this wall before the scorpion has a chance to, attack again.
Okay, so that longsword, those two attacks that you threw up on the chat, like the latest things there, would not have happened in that instance. Do you get what I'm saying?
Say it again. You kind of cut up a little bit there.
So, like those two attacks, those latest things that you see in the chat, if you were to disengage, you would not be able to swing your sword. It's kind of like one or the other. Like those attacks to kind of chop off its stinger, that wouldn't have happened had you chosen to disengage.
Yeah, but I use action surge, so I have my action.
You get a full action for action surging?
Yes, that's a full action and a bonus action.
Oh, okay. Wow, then. I'm sorry.
That's what I said.
I apologize. Okay.
Action surge and then disengage.
I like it. Cool. So you totally do so. You have no opportunity attacks. I apologize for my misunderstanding. You kind of push Azaka back towards the wall, and you start the climb. It seems like this you're not quite sure if this stone steps is wide enough. Or narrow enough for a giant scorpion to follow you. Perhaps it's too big to kind of fit. You're not quite sure. Mm-hmm. All right, but at the very least, you've kind of pushed Azaka back 30 feet. Your full range of movement.
Mm-hmm.
So the scorpion is going to kind of race up with you, and it kind of uses its claws. It's kind of walking with one half of its body on the steps and one half of its body on the wall of the cliff. At a 45-degree angle, and it's kind of chasing after you. And it manages to get up to you with its 40 feet of movement, and it's going to make 2 attacks at you. Let's see here.
Oh my...
Nope.
No.
That one misses. That one
nope.
also misses. Wow, this thing is not doing too good. And with its stinger, it swings down.
Nope.
And it misses.
Barely misses. That's a 17 to...
Wait, what's your AC?
18.
AC is 18.
So close.
That barely missed it. I would have fucking killed
You
me.
still have to take a DC 12 Constitution saving throw. Maybe you take poison, maybe you don't. Azaka, what she's going to do is she is going to fire 2 arrows from her longbow, and that one misses. That one
definitely misses.
That one definitely misses as well, and she's
she's too afraid. She's too afraid right now.
Absolutely, she's terrified. She's caught between a rock and a hard place. All right, so it's back to Blackjack and Ebor.
I will continue what I was doing.
All right, the priest comes in. He says, "Draw yourself off. You are ready to talk with the head elder." And he gestures towards robes that are kind of laid out for you, and towels as well.
Question: do I hear this being underwater?
Go ahead, give me a perception roll at disadvantage.
Yeah. Oh,
you definitely do.
Yin and yang.
It was a crit and a miss.
Double crit. That's what we like to call shit.
All right, so you hear it. Do you act on it, or you pretend like you don't hear?
I get out of the water and I act on it. It's whatever. I've been in here for like a million years.
Sounds good. I like it. All right.
Can you get soggy fingers if you have scales?
Saki scales?
That sounds.
You probably want to dry off your scales so like things don't grow in between, like where your scales are, I guess. You know, like mildew and stuff. I don't know. I don't know how dragon anatomy works. Do you have any insight, Ebor?
Fucking dragons, how do they work?
Alright. So, Ebor, you get out and towel off, and I guess you robe up. Alright. Back with Garen. The scene, the camera changes back to, Garen standing off, like, with her back, like...
With his...
She's walking backwards up, like, this
Yes.
stone path, fighting off, like, dueling with this scorpion tail as it's, like, stabbing at her.
Him! I've said it before, it's him. I will continue scaling up the wall, but I'm making sure that Azaka is nice and just holding on tight. Yeah, and I'm gonna use my action first. So I will use my longbow, which I do have stuff for. I do have like 20 arrows.
Okay.
I'll fire some stuff, and I'll fire some in his way. The longbow. So
Okay.
that's one.
He's probably like 10 feet away from you currently at this point.
Okay.
It appears he has superior movement, and you're kind of fighting backwards, going uphill. And
Okay.
It's facing you with like 6 legs, you know, easily maneuverable on the cliffside. Just throwing that.
Okay. Then never mind. I'll just use my action to engage again, because I'm guessing it counts as re-engaging with us, just like trying to kill us.
This would all be considered one straight fight. So it's, I guess it's like running up to like engage with you in melee combat, but.
So if I try to just move right now, it won't get attack group.
Nope, not at this point. It's 10 feet away from you currently.
Okay, so I will continue moving up the cliffside, with making sure that I'm just basically talking to her to the heights at all. Just she's talking, looking at me.
Okay. Sounds good. Alright, we're going to switch back to the other scene. The scorpion's chasing after you, and we'll say that you are running up this thing. You're now like 500 feet above the ground. The scorpion seems dead set on making you its meal, and doesn't seem to realize how high it is above the ground. And we're going to switch over to Blackjack.
Wait, what about Azaka's turn?
Oh, Azaka, she is going to spend all of her turn, like nervously, like backing up, getting higher and higher off the ground, but looking at Garen, like defending her against, this large, insect. And she's just going to do everything in her power to, not have a panic attack. Alright, so we're going to switch back to Blackjack and Ebor. At this point, you're now robed up. Your skin and your scales are sparkly. It seems like that substance that they place in the water were gold flakes. And you're now presentable to meet with the High Priest.
Cool.
And y'all are led up some stairs into the largest building. And let's see here.
Feels like years since I've been this clean. But I got a feeling this glitter is gonna just stick everywhere.
You know what they say about glitter? It's the herpes of craft supplies. Once it gets on you, it's on you for life.
Oh, and just for future reference, I still have like one of the ladders. It's just strapped to my bag.
Okay.
If there was glitter in that tub, I looked at him, and I am just like a ball covered in glitter, and I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
What do you mean, like, what reference?
What do you mean about glitter?
Oh, and you're just like coated in it?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I like it. So he leads you up into the monastery. You see 6 Aarakocra inhabit the monastery, and they seem to have taken like a vow of silence. They seem to be monks, and they're just sitting there meditating in a circle. They have prayer bead necklaces, and they've painted labyrinthine patterns on their beaks, hands, and feet. A large circular labyrinth symbol of Ubtao is painted on the face of this building. It can't be seen from anywhere in Sabal. It's visible only from the air, from the ground below. You kind of saw it as you were walking up to this cliffside. Let's see here. Where I'm gonna move y'all to the monastery.
Sick.
Just like whistling as you go along.
It's fine. We're good.
Alright, so y'all are kind of in like the atrium of sorts. You see this large labyrinth design on the ground. Let me throw some bird guys into the birdmen into the scene.
And you must fight them all.
and they all know Kung Fu and roll initiative. Alright. Okay. So this, you're in the prayer hall. This is the main hall of the monastery, and it is an impressive sight. The rafters of the ceiling are fully 60 feet above the floor, and the peak of the thatched roof is 15 feet above that. The space is large enough that Aarakocra could fly around inside it, though they seldom do for the sake of decorum and, respect. The circular labyrinth symbol of Ubtao is laid out in a mosaic 25 feet in diameter. The Aarakocra monks spend much of their days meditating while viewing the labyrinth from above, from the lower and upper landings of the staircase. Other Aarakocra come here on special occasions, such as weddings, funerals, and holy days. You probably don't know that, and I probably wasn't supposed to read that to you, but you get the sense that this is a special place, full of cultural symbolism. All right, and he kind of leads you forward, and he says, we will pass through the monastery, and let's see here. Oh, he takes you up and out of the monastery, and he's going to take you up to the next house, which is past it, and that one is the royal house. And, he's kind of explaining this to you, and he says, this is the royal house, and perched between the monastery and the elder's house is a dwelling similar to the ones described down, where the common Aarakocra live. However, this particular house is furnished. It seems like the furniture and, decorum are designed for, humans, things that don't fly. Like the ceiling lights aren't as high, and it seems like the decorum is a little bit nicer than the common folk houses. Inside you see a young girl. Let's see here if I can show a picture of y'all. See a young girl and a young boy, and they just seem to be sitting there at the table, like getting ready for dinner. They're kind of like eating some bread and some fish. And they kind of look up to you and they say, who are you? And with that, we're going to switch back to Garen Lightshield.
Okay.
You're at the big 10-foot jump between the safety and to the next platform. You don't know if the scorpion can walk across like vertical surfaces at all.
Okay. So the scorpion's still going?
Mm-hmm. It seems to be charging for you dead ahead. Full on assault.
Okay. So can I set down the ladder, and basically, I was thinking of throwing a hand axe to kind of like make it slip back down to the ground.
Okay. I will say putting the ladder down and positioning it so it's in a good spot. I will say like it's if you want it to be secure, that'll take your full action, and if you want to throw an axe as well, we'll say that the ladder won't be as secure, and there's a chance that it might fall.
Okay, so setting the ladder down and then crossing would just be an action and movement, right?
Yep.
And having that extra attack won't let me throw that hand axe, will it? I guess just for Azaka's sake, I'll set the ladder, like actually set it down, not like you know what I mean, like the actually setting it down.
Yeah, making sure it's like secure, and it's a good spot. It's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, and I will make sure we both are across. And can I still pick it up? Like, can I pick it up and
potentially from the other side? You don't know if you have the time. You kind of turn around. And you actually see
if I don't have the time. Okay.
You actually see the giant scorpion kind of coming up at you, and it seems to be crawling along the vertical surface. It doesn't even need the ladder at all, and it's still going for y'all. So I'm going to move y'all up to here-ish. And it is currently in between the gap of the two platforms. And I will say that it is back to your turn, Garen.
Okay.
So there's some space. There's some space between the ladder and the cliff face. It's probably like, I would say probably like 10 feet or so.
I'm gonna risk it on this. I'm gonna throw one of my hand axes at it with my last use of superiority dice.
Okay. Aiming where? For its tail? For its head?
For its legs.
For its legs.
To try and send it plummeting it down. That is gonna be with feigning attack.
Okay. I'm gonna grant you inspiration for that dialogue that you had with Azaka earlier. You can certainly use it now if you'd like.
Well, with feigning attack, I already get, so I'll hold on to that.
Okay.
So feigning attack.
You're not quite within melee range, so I don't know if you.
No, it's with a hand axe. I still.
Okay, cool. I didn't realize. Sorry.
Still do that because it's So one of the hand axes with feigning attack, right at the leg.
So that unfortunately misses.
With advantage, so it's 23, right?
Oh, it definitely hits. All right.
So that right into the leg.
Right into the leg. You see, like it cuts off not one leg, but actually cuts off 3 legs on one side, and the scorpion is like falling, and as it's falling, its tail actually whips out Balrog style, and it's going to make one final tail attack at you.
So with inspiration, I can't put disadvantage on. It's just only advantage.
Yeah.
Okay, nope.
That misses. But I'm going to say that this scorpion actually hits you because it has advantage. It's doing one. It's putting everything into it's rolling its inspiration against you, and
okay.
So that's going to be. Go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Oh, please, for the love of God. Work. Let's see, con.
Nice. And it rolled extremely low for its poison. Only rolled an 8, so you only would have taken 8 poison. So this tail just stabs into your abdomen, in between where your armor connects. Like right below your breastplate or whatever you're wearing. It just stabs into you, and you just kind of fall back into like Azaka's arms as the scorpion just kind of falls down off the side of the cliff, kind of like banging into the cliff a couple of times, and then like crashing down on the ground into a wet, gooey mess. Clearly dead.
Just Garen grabs his side that just got stabbed, and just goes over to the ladder and picks it up carefully. Says, "Come on, let's get up there."
Okay. And you take your time and you make it back up to where the villages are, and they seem like surprised to see you in such like bad array. You know, Azaka's got like this cold.
Yeah, I'm not doing too good.
Azaka's got this cold sweat on, and you just kind of like keep ascending the ladders until you finally meet up with Azak or Ebor and Blackjack.
But if I'm gonna get, I'm making sure I'm gonna keep her company, just trying to keep her distracted from the fact she's so high. I'm just like, don't pay attention to that. Look at me, as I'm like literally sweating bullets, like, trying to keep myself alive. He just kind of like goes down to one knee and just like, don't worry about it. I won't let you fall.
Okay.
Look at me. Look at my wounds.
Okay, so
Fine.
And let me just tell you, Garen has full night sleep for like 2-3 days.
Yeah, Garen's running ragged right now. Okay, so you get up to where the monastery, or to like this area is right here on the map. I'm moving your tokens, and you see like the bath, and you see Ebor and Blackjack's old clothes, just kind of like Ebor's clothes. I don't know, maybe they're folded nicely in a pile, and I assume Blackjack's clothes are just like in a messy like heap somewhere.
My clothes, you see my fucking dirty pants, my dirty peasant pants, and that's it. And my undies, because I didn't put those back on.
Okay.
So I assume we weren't bathing in our underwear, because that seems kind of weird.
Nope, that would be weird. Ebor, are you a messy person or a neat person?
Well, he tries to be neat, but I think his clothes are kind of tore up.
Okay. As neat as one can be.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna keep my arm around Azaka. Not like using her as a prop. I'm just comforting her, and I'm gonna ask if there's like anyone there, like if there's like a bird person nearby.
I mean, they're all bird people.
But like the one that stopped Blackjack specifically, is that one guy there?
Nope. He seems to have. It doesn't seem like there's any guards inside.
Okay.
Like at the front that has stopped you. You go in and you see the guard that had stopped Blackjack earlier, and he says, "There's no time for you to bathe. You must go. The elder requests your presence." And he kind of like ushers you kind of at a hurried pace to kind of catch up with Blackjack and Ebor, and he kind of like takes you through the monastery, and he kind of like takes you up to that one house where that young boy and the young girl are, and we're gonna jump back to where Blackjack and Ebor are, and yeah, you just see like this boy and this girl sitting there.
I just see them sitting before me.
They're sitting like they're eating dinner, and the young boy's mouth just like drops open, and he kind of says, "Who are you?"
I go over and I pull up a chair because I assume they're sitting, and I sit down.
And she says, "You are not invited to sit down at my table."
I'm sorry, I have no idea what's happening. We just got ushered up in here by some weird old bird guy.
You see the guy that was ushering you. He's kind of like gesturing that you must like continue through the house, kind of like through the to continue up higher into the complex. And at this point, Azaka and Garen kind of like burst in behind you. You know, obviously, like, you know, Garen's like bleeding from the stomach, in bad shape. Not so bad that she's like he's falling over. But what do y'all do?
We left you for like 5 minutes. How did this happen?
How long was it, DM?
It was probably about probably like half an hour to an hour, or probably.
It was okay. So it's like, give me the time again. It's like half an hour.
I would say it's like pretty much coming towards sundown at this point. I would say it's probably half an hour since y'all like parted
It's
ways.
been half an hour.
But
I don't have.
But for you, Blackjack, time has been like flying by because you're having a great time.
I'm having a blast. Feels like 5 minutes.
So just to like paint the scene, like we have these two figures, like clean, sparkly in robes, and then we have like Azaka and Garen that are like one's bleeding from the stomach and one and they haven't slept in days, haven't rested at all, and they're like dirty still, and just kind of like pointing out that juxtaposition.
I point to Garen and Azaka, and I turn to Ebor, and I say, these are my acquaintances, Garen and Azaka.
I nod at them, just sort of not really sure what to say to a bunch of bloody people.
Yeah, normally I'm there to protect them, which is why they're so bloody now, because I left them back there, fending for themselves.
Garen tightens a fist, like he's about to say something, but he like looks like he's about to pass out. So he just like,
The Aarakocra elder, Esther's on. He's like, "Come on, we must not keep the Gorend elder waiting." In like a bird squawky voice that I'm not going to do because my throat's already tired.
Follow us, follow us.
Alright, where is Garen's? Oh, there y'all are. So y'all are now in this part right here.
In the cool zone.
And then y'all two are also here.
So there's like a ritual or some shit going on, and that we're being ushered to?
Something like that. You don't know about this ritual. Only Ebor knows about this this ritual called Dance of the Seven Winds. And y'all are just being told to go up here, and you're just kind of like, okay, and following through with it.
Is there like, are we being escorted by someone?
Yeah, you're being escorted by this guy here.
By John, the bird guy.
Yep. His name is Squellock.
I was close.
Yep. That's almost the translation to common is John, actually. So he's leading y'all on into the elder's house, and let's see here. I got some sick monk music. Oh yeah. Okay. And where is it? All right. So the as you get to the elder's house, you see. Let's see. Is there a picture that I can show you? This is kind of what they look like. The bird people. And you see an elderly one, an elderly female Aarakocra, seems to be the one that's kind of like leading y'all around, and they live in this grand structure. The person that had kind of like ushered you up to the building stops before letting you go inside. He doesn't seem like he's allowed in this sacred place. The only people that are in this building are the ones that live in it. And this elderly Aarakocra takes over for the one that was like escorting you up to the building. He bows solemnly and like walks back down to the lower structures. And this elderly Aarakocra like guides you around this hole in the floor and takes y'all upstairs.
As we're walking, I like kind of like silently motion for Azaka and Garen to get the fucking feathers off of them.
I don't have my feathers on. It's her, and they're macaw feathers First off, they fell off on their own.
Maybe it's a good thing she has feathers on. Who knows?
They probably won't be able to tell the difference.
I ignore him. I'm just sitting there, just making sure Azaka doesn't have a panic attack. I'm just basically being there for her as a friend.
Whatever.
Even though I'm bloodied, tired, a freaking wreck of a man.
All right, so you meet with the leader, Elder Eric Cocker, who seems very important, and this is kind of what he's wearing.
Oh.
You know, he's got red wings and red in his feathers. You're not quite sure if that's natural or kind of like dyed. And,
is your feather color, is it natural or did you dye it?
he kind of gives you like a piercing look that only like an eagle can, and it kind of like sends you this look like that kind of like quiets you down, you know, like kind of puts you in your place a little bit.
Garen face palms just as soon as he asked that question.
Wisdom of 8 or 9. It's a negative number, you guys. It's not good.
The elderly Arakatra says, "My name is Ying Matona, and I live here and serve our grand leader, Ashara," gesturing to the one with the gold wings, or the red wings, rather. And she says, "No other Arakrakar are allowed to set foot inside this building. It is off limits to anyone else unless they're invited. And you four have been 5, including Roman, are invited to talk to Ashar. He has words to speak with you. I trust you all will hold your tongue, and no foolish thoughts will come from it." I'm kind of looking towards you, Blackjack, and she kind of leaves the room.
I also look at Blackjack.
I also look at Blackjack.
Roman, what do you guys think that she meant by that?
Roman looks at Blackjack.
Also weird. Perfect.
Ashara says, "You all look like you are in need of medical attention, and some of you are in need of a bath."
Yep.
He says,
Continue.
He says, like, it's been quite a while since we've had visitors, but the monks prophesied that we would have guests stop by today.
Cool.
And he says, he turns to you, Ibor, and he says, "I suspect you are here to learn about the dance of the 7 winds."
Was that directed to me? I'm sorry.
Yes, he says. He turns to you and he's like, "I suspect you are here to learn about the dance of the 7 winds."
The dance of the 7 winds. Yes. Am I here for that?
You kind of heard about this like magical power, which is performed by this ritual called that, and I guess your character like was in the area and you like stopped to check it out. You know, it couldn't hurt to look. You know that these Arakakra are peaceful people.
Okay.
And it's worth stopping by, you know, so far from any other source of civilization. And he says, "The monks told us that visitors would come on this day, and we were to support them the best that we can. Besides, you saved the life of one of our own, and None of y'all were here for this, but when you got to the top of Firefinger, where Azaka was looking for her mask, there were caged. There was a caged Aarakocra who was a messenger. I forgot what his name was, but he flew back to Sabal and said he would speak on your behalf. And he says, we are eternally grateful for saving one of our own, and we will perform this ritual for you, should you ask. However, this ritual requires some ingredients that we do not currently possess. Let's see here. This dance of the seven winds, when performed, will give you all the power to fly.
I mean, that would be cool.
We mean like temporarily? Is this gonna turn us into one of you bird people? Because I'm at least 80% sure I don't want to do that.
This ability will last for 3 days. And what you decide to do with this power is up to you. We can provide guidance on where to go from there, but it is up to you to take this guidance. Things that we've heard from this part of Choltz are rumors. I'm not sure yet what is true and what is false. He says, in order for this ritual to take place, there is a black orchid that grows higher up above the complex. You must fetch it for me, and I can perform this ritual for you.
Flight for 3 days. Where do we need to go exactly from here?
Well, we need to drop off Tiro. So...
Tiro hadn't been taken. Tiro kind of stayed back behind in the lower end of the villages. And he said he was just going to wait here, and he's convinced one of the Aarakocra to fly a message to him to Courtney and Zaro.
Okay. And I wrote down I still need to find his dad's sword that he got from him as a present. So that's a fetch quest that I need to do.
That we need to do. Which means...
You don't care about it. You don't care about the sword.
But if it's enchanted, I could use it.
No, I'm giving it straight back to him if I could ever find out where he is.
Okay.
Which, by the way, did we ever find any clues in that hut, or was it just no side of the sword anywhere? It's just you're gonna have to find it out in the.
You're probably gonna have to find out in the woods. Perhaps one of the bandits managed to escape with that sword and his life.
I'll keep an eye out for that. I'll ask around town sometime.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, it's like a gold name on it.
Say that again? You cut out a little bit.
The sword was like a golden sword with like his name on it, correctly?
Something like that, yeah. It was like a birthday present. Something to commemorate him becoming an ambassador. He says, but you can fetch this orchid for us tomorrow. It only blooms in the heat of the day, and we must retrieve it. You must pick it when it is fully bloomed. You should rest and relax for the evening. Come, you are my honored guest, and I will make sure you are attended to accordingly.
Garen will accept the help, but he's not leaving. That's one thing. He's not leaving Azaka's side. He's basically going to be stuck to her like glue, making sure she's okay. But he will take any medical assistance. That much it would be certain.
Roman's going to see to your wounds and any wounds that Azaka had accumulated. Looks like he turns to Ebor and Blackjack. And he says, "Looks like it's up to you to fetch this orchid. I trust you two can handle such a simple task, yes?"
I'm a master of simple tasks.
I snicker a little bit.
I kind of like glare a little blackjack, but then I stop. By the way, Gary has not been full health for like 3 sessions right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So y'all are led back down into the monastery, where y'all are fed, flatbreads. That's like this fish. It seems like the bird people really enjoy fish, and it's cooked. It's not just raw. It's actually very good food. This civilization has been here for hundreds of years. There's a lot of culture here, and the food has been like perfected over time. And the monks, are just sitting there. They don't really talk much or at all, rather, and they're just kind of like offering you food and drink and watching your strange habits and listening in on your dialogue.
So we're all like in a dining room, right?
Yep, sitting around a table. You're kind of like kneeling at like this low table. You're kind of sitting on like pillows and stuff.
How much food is placed in front of us? Is this like a single fish? Is it like a feast?
So the monks are not the type where they like are limited, they like starve themselves, or they have like very simple, sparse, Spartan living. But this is considered a feast for them. It's a lot of food, but not like an overwhelming amount. Not like if you're a human and you go to a banquet, that's just like so much food that there's food left over. If you really tried, you could probably finish all the food.
I offer my thanks to all these bird people, and I don't eat immediately. I just offer like a silent thank you, and I take a little bit, not too much like a glutton would. I look over Blackjack.
When you look over to me, I am just fucking eating voraciously. Like, my head is practically glued to the plate.
Tiro comes up and joins you, and he gives you each, even you, Ivor, gives you each like a piece of paper with his signature on it and a wax figure, and it says that this piece of paper is good for 250 gold. You take it to any merchant, and it has his father's signature on it, and like the wax pressed into it, and he says this will be good for any item, any items worth up to 250 gold. Any merchant will recognize my father's seal, and they will not deny your request.
I thank him.
I hand mine back to him.
He's like, "Are you sure you do not want this?
I don't want your charity. Look, we helped you out. Just go."
Well, all right then. But
Before he goes, I said, and I will keep an eye out for your sword. I will try to return it to you.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Garen. You have been most kind to me.
I say thank you with a kind of surprising confusion on my face, but then I go back to eating.
Yeah.
What?
$250 for doing nothing.
Whoa. So,
nice. I'm gonna, as I'm eating, I'm gonna look over to Azaka. I'm gonna ask her, "Are you alright?"
Azaka says, "It's much easier to manage my fear in this building. It feels like I'm on the ground, actually, if I don't look out the windows at all."
It's good.
So.
Go ahead.
Oh.
No, go ahead. You're fine.
Alright, I was gonna, at one point, look up for my food, and I was gonna look over to Eeyore and be like, "So, Eeyore, we haven't really had time to get acquainted at all. I mean, apparently we're gonna be doing this, fetch quest thing for these bird folks. But where exactly are you going?
Sorry, I totally was reading something. Sorry, say that again.
I was asking Ebor.
I don't really have any place in mind, but being able to fly for 3 days will certainly help.
I squint. Any
Um,
reason in particular you're in the forest? In the middle of Jolt. In the middle of nowhere. With the death fog. And the ghouls. And the dinosaurs. Any reason?
Yes.
And
Yep.
I turn to Blackjack and I say, he has his reasons, but he shouldn't have to explain it to you if it's personal.
Fine. I'll get back to eating.
I apologize to Ebor.
No, it's fine. It's extraordinarily inhospitable out there. I can understand his surprise.
I nod.
Ashara looks over you. He's seated at the head of the table, and he says, "How is the food? Is it most pleasing to your palate?"
It's delectable, thank you.
I shake my head, yes. And I thank him.
Good.
Can I improve my food using my cook's tools?
You certainly can. Are you trying to make this overt, or?
I think that would be kind of insulting if you do that.
I'm just making my own experience better, you guys.
I mean, you can go for it. I'm not saying anything out of character.
Yeah!
Go ahead and make. Is that intelligence based?
Yeah, it's a good old intelligence check. Unless if you want to do like a strength check, because I'm really good at those.
Nope. I like it. Intelligence. You managed to pull out some of the spices and mushrooms and grind them up.
It's man.
Add them into the fish, and Ashara kind of raises one eyebrow and he says, "What are you doing over there, young dragonborn?"
Where I come from, it's insulting if you don't put your own little twist on the host's food. Well, I mean, normally where we come from, you bring a bit of your own food to the meal, and then whoever's there has kind of like the base things, and you kind of add like your own little spice to it. I'm not used to getting full meals, is what I'm trying to say.
Is this true?
I'm
Yeah.
already rolling insight.
Yeah, this is true.
In the future, ask me like if you'd like to sense his motivation, and then I'll let you roll insight.
I can't tell. 10, probably.
Probably not with the 10, but just in the future, just kind of say like what you would like to do, and I'll allow you to roll certain things. Is this true, Blackjack? Where you come from? This is the custom?
Yeah. Something my old man always used to do.
Ashara kind of nods slowly and he says, "Interesting. This food has been prepared at the monastery for hundreds, if not thousands of years, and you've had the gall and the fortitude to change the recipe that has been passed down." He kind of like stops and what do you say?
Oh no, I'm just gonna roll something real quick. Oh, that's Blackjack. Wisdom of -1. He kind of like slowly moves the food from his mouth onto the plate and goes, "This food is 10,000 years old?"
Before you have a chance to like say anything, Ashara says, "Can I try it?"
I gave her a piece of fish from my plate.
He's like, no, I wanted the edited version, what Blackjack has made.
Oh, sure, I guess. I mean, next time you can bring your own stuff, but whatever. I take a bit of my food, and I just get a little like sampling size, and I put it on a small plate, and I slide it over. And I get back to like mouth on plate eating.
he tries it with the grace and dignity that only like someone that has grown up in a position of power possesses, and he tries it and he's like slowly like crunching and tasting it. Then he nods slowly and he says to you, "You are a very strange individual, but I cannot deny that this is quite good. I will instruct the chefs." He tells you as like an order, like as if like you're a person that he can boss around. He kind of says, "Instruct the chefs how you have done this. I wish to try it more in the future."
Are we okay? Sure, dude.
You see Roman kind of breathe like a sigh of relief. He wasn't sure if you just sparked like an international like conflict.
Every word Blackjack says inspires so much hatred of him. Ooh.
All right.
Wait, is this?
Sorry.
How old is this bird person?
This bird person is.
And is this like a queen of this place?
Come again?
Is this like the queen of this place? This Ashy?
Ashara. He's
Yeah.
a male, and let's see here. How old is he? We will say that he is 100 years old. I don't know if that is good or bad for bird people.
Araka Kraka probably lived to be like 120, so that's fine.
Okay.
I point a fork at Ash and I say,
He doesn't look like it though, because there's some sort of inner strength that kind of keeps him like looking very young.
I point a fork at him and I say, if you'd want, I could always give you the ropes on how to cook. It's really a liberating experience. When my old man taught me, I tell you, it opened up a whole new realm of possibilities. Nothing better than a home-cooked meal, and nothing better than knowing you made it yourself, I'll tell you what.
Garen's just listening to this, and his face goes from enjoying the food to just utter annoyance at every word he says.
Hey, I'm just being possible.
All right.
You're very much just saying like, you know what? You better cook this shit yourself.
Okay. Let's see here. Anything?
I mean, as my party members can vouch for me, I am very intelligent.
Okay.
So if there's no better teacher than I assure you.
I raise both my arms up and I quote mark him. I don't say anything, I just quote mark.
That's a perception of 9? I don't notice that shit.
Alright. As you're sitting there talking amongst yourselves, the young female and a younger boy come sit next to you. The boy sits next to you, Garen, and the girl sits next to you, Ivor, and they take their place, and servants begin immediately place food in front of them, and they start eating. And then Ashara says, "How are you doing, Princess Mwaxaner? Prince Na? How are you on this fine day? Have you met our guests?" And the princess kind of looks towards him, kind of like, you're not quite sure, but it seems to be like with indignation. And she says, "I have briefly met them. I do not care for them. They are stinky and loud."
I've been pretty nice so far. I've not spoken out of turn. I am still pretty dirty and bloody, so yeah, she can say that, but...
I will openly laugh through my food and then get back to eating.
The prince, the younger boy, says, "Where did they come from?" Kind of like asking Ashara, and Ashara says, "I do not know. Perhaps they have tales that they could tell us to entertain us during this fine meal."
Hmm.
Garen has this really good story that he tells us. It's about
No.
his dad or something. How he trained him, right?
Thanks for throwing me in the spotlight, by the way. Garen just clears his throat and he says, "I do have tales that I can offer to spin." He basically goes and talks about how his village was always constantly raided by these marauders, and then one day a wandering weapon master basically took care of the problem, and that opened up a new world of possibilities for Garen. He basically asked this man nonstop to teach him the ways of the sword, and basically they went traveling from town to town, slowly building up his ability to fight. And one day, on his final test, he pulls out from his bag the broken hilt. "I won this from my master. Our very final lesson. I shattered his sword in one blow."
You see Prince Na, he kind of like has his mouth open. He's like, "Wow, that is incredible." You see the Princess Mowaxen there. She has many beautiful trinkets on her, silver, like she's got gems braided into her hair. She's got parrot feathers as well, necklaces, multiple layers of necklaces with fiery Chilton opals and amber, multiple rings on, made of gold and silver and gemstones. And she turns to you and she says, "I have heard better stories."
You know-
He just humbly accepts. Just yes, I understand. There possibly are better stories than that. It's just a simple one. But I thank you nonetheless for listening, Your Highness.
Ashara says, "Princess, you must be courteous to our guests. They are prophesied by the monks that they would be visiting us this day. They are to receive the blessing of the Dance of the Seven Winds." And the princess says, "I do not care. Do with them what you will. One day, I will rule all of Cholt."
Did you do that in character?
Yeah, that was totally in character.
Oh fuck! Garen glares over at
I continue eating.
and I'm basically apologizing for him at every turn. I say, "Please forgive our friend. He is not very wise."
Oh, it's like the toddler, the parrot at like Walmart.
And I basically
Wow.
bow humbly, just with both my hands together.
Okay.
I think that we could get a great story out of our new friend here, Ebor. I point my fork at Ebor. Ebor.
Do you
Kinda
kick him
half
onto
choke
the
him.
table, or I don't know?
Yeah, I'm kind of nudging him to speak up.
Kind of choke and spit out my food and apologize that I don't have any stories better than that. And I'm very meek about it.
All right.
These people bore me. I'm going to bed. Good night, Ashara. And he kind of bows lowly and he says, "Good night, princess. May your reign last forever."
What a nice girl.
She goes back to her room, the next building down, or up from the monastery. And
Who's sitting next? Oh, sorry.
Prince Na kind of like isn't quite sure whether he should stay or he should go. Ends up like quickly falling off after what you suspect to be his sister.
I say to him, "You should go with her. She would probably appreciate your company more than us."
He kind of like gives you a curt, like a little head bow and kind of runs up the stairs.
Unless if you want to hear a really cool story.
He doesn't have any cool stories.
He stops at the top of the stairs and slowly turns around, looking down at you at the table.
If any of your stories involve you suspecting everyone of being a bad person, and I'm all for it.
Well, do you know of a place called Velen? Nah. Is it nah? Is it nay? New? Nor?
No, I've never heard of it.
Well, I think I'm gonna call you N.
That is not my name.
It's what we call a nickname. It's what you use to it's kind of like a friendly term. Like I don't know what my real name is, so people just call me Blackjack. That's kind of a nickname, you know.
Where did that nickname come from?
My old man Farron gave it to me when I was just real young, about 7 or 8 years old. I tell you, me and him had a bunch of cool tales to tell back in Velen.
But you are not black, you are green.
This is true. I am not black. I am green. However,
surely you should be green, Jack.
I think you're missing the point.
I step in and I try to explain. It's sort of like a figure of speech, if you understand that much. It's not actually what it means. It's using another word to replace what you are trying to convey.
I'm sure he understands the meaning. It's just, yes, I'm named Blackjack because when I was real young, I was really good at playing blackjack, and the name kind of stuck.
Ah, that is a metaphor. I know about that. The Arakakara have been very good and have taught me many things.
Yes, a malaphor. You get it.
Right.
It appears the dinner is kind of winding down to a close. Ashara says, Prince Na, it is time for you to get to bed. You must get some sleep. A young prince like you needs all the strength if he is to rule over Cholt one day. And you see Prince Na scurry up and kind of waves good night to everyone.
Garen waves back. He says, "Good night, young prince."
And
bye.
As soon as Prince Na is out of earshot, Ashara says, they are so near and dear to us, these little ones.
I can see that.
How old are they?
Let's see here. He says, Princess Moaxaner is 17 of her human years, and Prince Na, I believe, is 6 years old now.
Listen, you gotta get those kids better influences, because the princess wasn't exactly very courteous to us tonight. Just want to point that out.
And under his breath, it's like, neither were you.
That's a perception of 9. Didn't hear it.
Probably not. Ashara says, Moaxaner is headstrong and impatient to claim her throne. She doesn't take kindly to that talk, and she doesn't have a lot of interaction between the monks to practice social skills. I apologize on her behalf.
Just like royalty. Anyway, are we gonna... Do we have a place to stay tonight? Do we have to pay? Because I have a bunch of money that's just burning a hole in my pocket.
No.
Like the 250 rejected?
25 GP. That's 25 daggers.
Before he answers that question, I'm gonna say, you say she doesn't have many skills. Perhaps I could offer to teach her. After, of course, I take care of this. He points to his chest that's still kind of bandaged up, I imagine.
Yes, and probably before dinner, it was probably seen to by Roman and one of the
but I still need to probably get... So I say, after I make myself presentable, I could offer to sort of, be a friend quote unquote, to teach her how to be more social.
Sure, he says that is something that I too desire. If she become more courteous, she will make my life here more pleasant.
And he bows and says, if there's a place for me to clean this off, I would appreciate it.
Pay no mind to the dishes in front of you. And he turns to you and says to Blackjack, your money is not good here. Please, offering does us a great injustice. We humbly give out these gifts freely.
That's weird, but okay. Put my money back.
He says, let's see here. Ying Matona will take you to your bedrooms, and that elderly Arakakra kind of leads you upstairs into that large main monastery building. And upstairs you see a bunch of sleeping chambers. Let's see here. He says, Ying Matona says, I apologize. You will have to sleep two to a room.
I asked Azaka if she will want to sleep in my room.
I don't.
What's that? What did you say?
Garen. I pull Garen aside.
Yes.
You know how I am with new people. I really don't want to share a bed with that guy. You know.
And frankly, you need to learn how to get along with people. So I say it's a perfect opportunity. I shove him back into the room.
No, Garen.
So there's 6 of y'all, including Roman and Tiero. So one of y'all could sleep with Roman potentially, or in the same room.
Apparently my choice
so there you go.
For me. I'll be sleeping with Eben, Ibor.
And yeah, I asked Azaka if she wants to sleep with me, if it'll, make her feel better.
Azaka says, yes, that is quite all right with me.
So wait, are there 2 beds in each room, or it's like a double bed?
There's 2 beds in each room, yeah.
Okay, good. That would be double uncomfortable.
So I guess you and Ibor are shacking up, I guess, then?
Yep.
Alright. Is there any pillow talk?
I will say something, but first I'm just gonna hang my armor on like the bedside and just put my sword. I'm gonna like sharpen my sword a little bit as well, and I'm just gonna stand there just grinding away at it. Just kind of like doing like little preparations before the finally getting my sleep in. But before I do anything, I say to Azaka, if she's truly alright being in this place.
She says, it's not my ideal location to be, but it's nice that I am inside. I think I will sleep well this night, but it will take me a while to fall asleep. I have much to think about today. And she kind of like curls up like a cat and like kind of just sits there like with her eyes closed. You're not sure if she's asleep or thinking deeply. You see that fresh bandages have been laid out for you, Garen, to change your dressings.
I put them on.
Okay. I guess it's Blackjack and Ibor. What are y'all up to?
I would not be talking to Ibor. I would just be setting up. I would be taking out my 3 javelins, and I would be making a perimeter around my bed. I'd be seeing if there's any place for me to stick the javelins, and I'm assuming the floors are dusty, so I'd be putting a line in the middle of the floor and being like, this is my half of the room, and that's yours. Do not touch my stuff. I throw my backpack onto the bed. I climb in.
I nod at him, give him a thumbs up, don't say anything, just roll over and go to sleep.
Go ahead, Adam.
You managed to find like suitable like positionings of the spears and javelins that they kind of make like this semi fortified obstacle to your bed.
I'm gonna watch until I'm sure he's gone to sleep, and then I'm going to sleep.
Okay. All right. It is the next day. Everyone is recovered. They have their spell slots back. They have.
Yeah, I'm finally full health.
Nope, you only regain half on a full rest.
You get half of your hit dice back, rounded down. So everyone gets 2 back, and it is a brand new day.
Wait, so what did I get back from a full rest again?
You gain back everything, except for hit dice. You only gain back 2 hit dice.
Okay, so I'm at 2 hit dice. So my HP is like still at how much HP did I get? I just get it all back, right?
All back. Yep.
Yeah, so I'm back to full. Yay!
Nice. Good job.
Dick. Do you level up?
Nope.
I was the only one that did any fighting. If anyone should level up, I should level up.
That was a really experienced path, though.
So, the elderly Arakakra takes you outside of the monastery and the upper lair, and you see that there's an open balcony that faces the outside, and you see a bunch of vines that are growing on the side of the cliff, and she says, the black orchid grows up there. You must pick one for each of you who wishes to receive the blessing.
Alright, so it's a black flower.
Yes, it is hard to miss.
Nothing's hard to miss with my eyes. Let's go.
Alright, and as we'll say that as you're about to climb up to face your wall of sheer stone, a loud gong goes out, this like gonging noise, and you hear one of the Arakakra yell out, "It's a gargoyle attack! Prepare the defenses!" And
Oh, God.
we will end the session here.
Guys, we're running, right? Alright. Hey, can I ask real quick, Ebor, what class? What class are you?
You don't have to answer that if you don't want to.
No, that's fine. I picked a wizard.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like when you were talking about
Yes.
cantrips and stuff.
Finally, we have someone who's smart.
2 fighters in a...
Fucking finally, 2 fighters and a cleric.
If the cleric comes back, he seems like he's taking a leave of absence, a paternity leave, if you will.
We could say that Roman during the night left on like a spirit walk, and he's like going his own way to study the pestilent plague closer or something.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps. I'll think about this more. But yep, this is our group. There are many like it, but this one is ours.
Yep. It hurts.
I had a good time.
I hope I made a good impression on Azaka and everyone, like the princess, the prince, all those people that I interacted with today.
Okay.
That's what I hope.
You feel like you did a good job. You know, you probably, I don't know what your upbringing is, but you probably had some like common sense and manners knocked into you by your instructor.
Blackjack doesn't care.
You know, Blackjack's a little like rough around the edges, a little unruly.
Yeah, but
like
you know,
roguelike.
You know, I really don't like royalty, so whatever. Who fucking cares about any of these people?
Okay.
Let's just get on with it.
Well, that was a pretty solid session. I had a good time.
All we need is a rogue, and we're gonna be complete. Or a ranger. Or a ranger and a rogue, multi-class.
They have the Gloomstalker from the Xanathar's Guide to Everything.
Or or wait, what's it called? Or a rogue and a monk.
That would be cool.
Ninja.
If you're gonna find a monk, this is a place to find it. All right, so we will end the session here. I'm going to stop.
I am proud of myself. I'm just proud of myself because that scorpion battle. God damn.
That was pretty cool. Normally it's not zany like that.
Yeah.
Ebor. That was just something I thought would be kind of fun.
It's a consequence of victim of circumstance.
Normally it's fairly serious, but you have to have humor interjected every now and then.
I just knew that there was gonna be a bad thing down if she was by herself, so I out of character, but in character, he wanted to be there with her just to give her company.
You see like a little bit of text appears above your head, and it says, "Azaka will remember this."
Azaka will remember this.
Yep.
Hasaka will remember this. I mean, I hope so. I want to be friends with her. Cool.
Mm. She's not going to survive much longer.
Not if I have anything to say about it.
Okay.
All right.
I will protect these. I will protect these episodes with everything. The ones that we have. Because that's one of Garen's biggest fears is losing people. He would rather die himself than lose anyone.
All right, so well, I'm gonna have a good night. Get some sleep, y'all, and we'll see y'all next Monday.
No.
Bye.
See you later, alligator.
Hi guys.